Aloha, Blues fans, and welcome back to Sinsheimer Stadium as we get you set for Game 4, Blues versus Sonoma Stompers, a 6 p.m. start. As we welcome you inside the broadcast booth, you may notice our luau garb. Joining me now for our pregame show is Mark Robinson. We got the colorful leis, we got the Hawaiian shirt. Yours a lot more festive than mine, but it's all part of our promotion night, our theme night here at Sinsheimer. You come to tonight's ball game wearing this Hawaiian getup, and you get $5 tickets entering this game. One of the many fun stuff we do here at Sinsheimer this summer. But I want to go over the game last night that the Blues won against the Sonoma Stompers, a 9-2 victory. And I think one of the bright spots last night was the pitching for San Luis Obispo. Mark, can you tell me a bit more about what you saw?
Absolutely. We had Logan Groff starting for the Blues on the mound last night. 7 strikeouts, only allowed 3 hits and an earned run on 5 innings pitched. How about that, Nate?
How about it? Yeah, that was some electric stuff from Groff. He looked really good with that slider. He got a lot of hitters to go fishing after it, and I think what's important and why he's been so effective this season early on, his fastball is not flat at all. He throws it in the lower 90s, upper 80s, and it has tons of arm side run to it, and it makes those hitters, it makes it very hard for them to pick it up, number one, out of the hand, but number two, put a really good swing on it. And not only was Logan Groff very effective on the mound for San Luis Obispo, but his backstop catching the balls and strike for him also had a good night, both defensively and offensively.
Absolutely. I actually had the chance to speak with him after the game, and one of the things that he was talking to me about as to why he had such a strong performance was the work behind the plate from our catcher last night. He said he just felt so comfortable putting different pitches in and testing the waters a little bit, if you will, because he knew he had basically a wall behind home plate to not let anything sneak past the catcher, which that's all you can really ask for as a pitcher. And on top of other things that he said to me last night, I talked to him about how he stays focused on the mound, what he does to just stay locked in, and he says that he's really good at just clearing his mind, staying 100% focused only on the pitches that he's throwing and what he wants to do at the mound.
It's great when you can have your pitcher just keep it simple. That reminds me a lot of Cody Albright, one of the many successful stars for San Luis Obispo this season. Just plan the hunt the plan, as I like to say, and it seems like Logan Groff did that last night, and he had a real nice backstop in Parker Goff to do so last night for San Luis Obispo, and that's what brought to that win.
Absolutely. Not to be confused between the two of them.
No relation.
Only a one-letter difference between their last name. I read that at first, and I took a double take. I was like, is there siblings pitching to catching right now? That would be electric.
That's why I like to make it clear on the broadcast that Goff and Groff are not related.
Related.
So tonight it's a different catcher, and obviously it's a different pitcher. Behind the dish, it's Owen Estabrook making a start after starting against the Santa Barbara Foresters last time the Blues played them down at Eddie Matthews Field. And he'll be catching Thomas Harper, who's only been seeing work in relief, most notably against the Academy Barons, or most recently, I should say. And so, Mark, what do you have on the Redbird from Illinois State in Thomas Harper, tonight's starter?
The Redbird, the man, the myth. I love that. Thomas Harper, he's a right-hander from Illinois State heading into his junior year. Listen to this, 6'4", 205 pounds. That is a beast if I've ever heard it. At Illinois State last season, he appeared in 18 games. He had 5 starts, 37 strikeouts on the season. That was the 5th highest for the team, and 41 innings pitched, 6th highest on the team. Listen to this. I had a lot of fun collecting this statistic. He is almost a perfect 2 package for the Blues. He has 2 games played, 2 innings pitched. He's allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 errors. He's walked 2 batters. And to break the perfect streak, he's had 1 strikeout on the season.
Oh, come on. That's the one where you would want to have the same amount, or, you know.
I was just looking at the stat sheet, and I was like, 2. I was like, this is insane. This is crazy.
Yeah, you know, like when we say deuces are wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what you say. Deuces are berserk there. That's beyond wild for Thomas Harper. That's a real funny stat. Yeah. But hopefully he can rack up some more Ks here as he gets his first start of the year for San Luis Obispo. His time out of the bullpen, for now, done, as he gets the nod from Dean Traynor and his Blues staff tonight as San Luis Obispo looks to take the sweep over the Sonoma Stompers here at Sinsheimer on a luau night. Mark Robinson, as always, thank you so much for joining me in the booth. Good luck on this man for singing the national anthem this evening. He's going to kill it. He's got the voice of an angel.
Thank you very much. I missed being up here with you.
Yeah, we're back.
We were 5 games away or however many, and you got to travel all around up and down the coast with the team, and I just missed having the mic next to my mouth. For
Well,
real.
now we're back here, and you guys are all set now for Game 4 against the Sonoma Stompers. We'll stay live here so you can hear Mark's beautiful voice singing the national anthem for you on the Slow Blue Streaming
Absolutely.
Network. We'll see you guys at first pitch.
Aloha, everyone.
Special effects from Club Canada. Don't be startled when they go off. Another quick reminder, folks. Per city policy, all fans are going to be required to use refillable beverage containers at all 2024 Blues home events. Fans will be required to either bring their own reusable container for beer and wine purchases, or you'll need to purchase a steel pint glass at either of our beer locations. During Blue Score or U-Score pricing, however, you're going to get a Blue Score, U-Score Blues branded cup, plastic cup. Get on that now. Blue Score, U-Score pricing till the first inning's up.
Don't play stir it up.
Blues are walking to let me give you their names real quick. Austin Robertson, Walker Farnsworth, Benji Kano, Bodie Butler, Coco Ingalls, Hayden
Aloha once again from Sinsheimer Stadium as we just heard the national anthem from our very own intern and pregame show co-host, Mark Robinson. That's right, he did the pregame show with me. He went downstairs to sing the national anthem to get us set for this game. And let me tell you, folks, it was electric. I might have a little bit of bias, but it's my favorite anthem of the year so far. But now we're getting ready and set to go for Game 4 against the Sonoma Stompers with the San Luis Obispo Blues. The last time these two teams will be facing each other this season as the Blues look to get the sweep over the Stompers. Last night, San Luis Obispo got the 9-2 win over Sonoma, an explosion offensively that led them to the victory. And now they look to flip the script here and turn over in a new day as we get you set here, and we'll take a look at the starting lineup for both teams. So let's first give you the defensive set for San Luis Obispo. Behind the dish, it's Owen Estabrook. At first, it's Brendan Comerford. Jared Meta making his Blues debut at second base. Casey Borba also making his debut at third. Gavin Constantine returns to shortstop. Max Lane in left field. Braden Dowd making his debut out there in center field. And Cooper Witten playing right with Brad Navarro doing the designated hitting. And on the mound for the Blues, it's Thomas Harper. Harper, who had been doing the majority of his work coming out of the bullpen for the Blues early on this season. He's only thrown in 3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 2 earned runs. And here's start number 1 for the Redbird from Illinois State. Now let's look at the starting lineup for the Sonoma Stompers, hitters 1 through 9, that Thomas Harper will be facing this afternoon. Leading things off, it's Elijah Ramos. Then it's Kyler Zukowski. Jack Scarry in the 3-hole. Tyler Hawley batting cleanup. Benedito Joe Venetti batting 5th. Rudy Gonzalez batting 6th. A.J. Carter dropping in the lineup and doing the designated hitting, batting 7th. Trent Abel moving up 1 spot, 8th. And Caden Dosa batting 9th for the Sonoma Stompers. So leading things off, it's Elijah Ramos, the second baseman for Sonoma. Will be the first batter to face Thomas Harper here on a beautiful San Luis Obispo evening on Luau night. We prepped you for it throughout the season, and now it is finally here. Fans wearing Hawaiian garb will get $5 tickets here at Sinsheimer, as the first pitch is underway at 6:05 p.m. from Thomas Harper in a 65-degree and sunny evening in San Luis Obispo. Harper on the 1-0. It's a fastball in there for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 to the leadoff batter, Elijah Ramos, and it's set softly up the middle. Constantine ranges to his left. Here's the throw on the run in time to Comerford for the first out of the ball game. A 6-3 ground ball from Thomas Harper, and there's one away in the first inning for Kyler Zukowski, the right fielder, batting second for the Stompers tonight. Zukowski played in last night's contest as well. He went 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout against San Luis Obispo and Logan Groff, who started last night for the Blues. Here's Harper from the windup, and the fastball misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes to Zukowski, the Blue Jay from Creighton and a Madison, Wisconsin native, making the long trip all the way to the West Coast to play for Sonoma this summer. Here's the 1-0. He has to duck out of the way of that fastball, missing just over his head. 2 balls and no strikes to Zukowski. Zukowski was ranked among his class as the 4th best outfielder in Wisconsin by both Perfect Game and Prep Baseball Report. In his junior season, he hit .450 and had a 1,000 fielding percentage. As another fastball misses upstairs from Thomas Harper, 3 balls and no strikes. Those statistics were good enough to give him second team All-State, All-Southwest District, and All-Big 8 Conference, as well as All-City honors out there in Wisconsin. Fastball clips the bottom half of the zone for strike 1. 3-1 to Kyler Zukowski, entering his redshirt sophomore season out there in Omaha, Nebraska. Here's Harper on the 3-1. Another fastball right down the middle for strike 2. So after 3 straight balls, Thomas Harper goes back-to-back fastballs down the pipe to Zukowski, and he takes a look at both of them and fills it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. Another fastball just outside. And there is a 6-pitch walk to Zukowski, the right fielder for the Stompers. First base runner of the evening for Sonoma, as Kyler Zukowski is aboard after the walk from Thomas Harper. Now it's the 3-hole hitter Jack Scarry, also playing left field today for Sonoma. Scarry played in yesterday's contest as well. He batted second for Sonoma, dropped one spot here in the 3-hole. He was 1 for 4 last night with a strikeout against the Hunter Hammond and Logan Groff effort, as that fastball misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. That's 3 batters in a row where Thomas Harper has gone ball 1 with the fastball into those right-handed hitters. A mistake that he's looking to correct throughout the rest of this game. Here's the 1-0, and this one's hit on the left side and through for a base hit. That's the first knock of the day for the Stompers, as rounding second and heading towards third is Zukowski. The throw will not be in time. Going first to third on the base hit from Jack Scarry is Kyler Zukowski. And there's now runners at the corners for the Stompers. Zukowski didn't break stride at all. He was committed as soon as his foot hit the ground on his first 3 steps out of his secondary. He just put his head down and got to running. Took a while for the throw to get in from Lane in left field. And once it did, it was a little high for Constantine on the relay. But now it's Scarry at first on the single that moved Kyler Zukowski over to third base. It's now Tyler Hawley batting in the cleanup spot tonight, the third baseman for the Sonoma Stompers, as he takes the fastball in there for strike 1. One out and an 0-1 count, 2 runners on for Sonoma. Corner infield playing in while Comerford holds on the runner at first base. Another fastball missing inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tyler Hawley. Hawley, a Titan from Cal State Fullerton, and a native from Laverne, California. Here's the 1-1. Fastball takes it all the way upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike to Thomas Harper, who's had some difficulties finding the strike zone early on in this ball game. From the stretch, here's Harper on the 2-1 count. Another fastball skipping the dirt, backhand stop from Owen Estabrook behind the dish. 3 balls and 1 strike to Hawley, who's entering his sophomore season with the Cal State Fullerton Titans. This past year as a freshman, he played in 20 games. He started 13 of them, recorded 8 runs and 2 RBIs on the year with 7 walks, as this one's tapped into foul ground. 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Tyler Hawley. Well, before his time as a Titan, he attended Bonita High School in Laverne. He was a 4-year letter winner with the baseball program and helped lead the team to the CIF semifinals in his sophomore year. He was awarded a Scholar Athlete Award as well his time in high school. Here's a 3-2. Swung on and popped up in the center field. Dowd coming in on it, having to battle the wind out there in center. As tagging up from third is Zukowski. Here's a throw just a little up the line and not in time, as the runner from first and Scarry advances to second on the sacrifice fly from Tyler Hawley. Sonoma Stompers strike first. And nothing Braden Dowd could have done there in center field. There was some difficulties trying to track the ball out there. The wind caught a hold of it, a bit of a jet stream very high in the sky. He took a few steps to his right, a few to his left, and he eventually had to come in. And getting a good jump on the tag from third base was Zukowski to bring in the first run of the game for Sonoma. 1-0 lead over San Luis Obispo. So Scarry took second base on the sacrifice fly from Tyler Hawley as Benedito Giovanetti steps in, the 5-hole hitter playing first for Sonoma this afternoon. As there's now 2 away here and a 1-0 lead for the Sonoma Stompers. Harper, 1 look at second, now comes home. Fastball clipping the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes to Benedito Giovanetti. As fans begin to file in, they beg for their hot sauce from Thomas Harper as he looks to get his first K of the afternoon. Here's the 0-2. Holds up his swing on that slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Giovanetti. Good lead for him. Harper lets go of the ball. Now comes back to it on the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike three. First pile of hot sauce as the Sonoma Stompers strand a runner at second base, but they do get one off a sacrifice fly from Tyler Hawley. It's 1-0 Sonoma heading into the bottom of the first inning. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the first inning after the Sonoma Stompers struck first in the top of the first. A sacrifice fly from Tyler Hawley that brought around Kyler Zukowski, who reached on a walk. And in Thomas Harper's first inning of work, he lets up one run on one hit, no errors, and they strand a runner on base. As leading things off for the Blues, it's Braden Dowd. Let's take a look at the rest of the starting lineup for San Luis Obispo. Dowd making his debut from USC, batting leadoff. Then it's Brad Navarro, Max Lane, Casey Borba cleaning things up in his debut. Brendan Comerford, Cooper Witten, Owen Estabrook, Jared Medham in his debut, and Gavin Constantine rounding things out. As Dowd takes a look at strike one in his first at-bat at Sinsheimer Stadium after spending this past season with the Trojans at USC in Great Park, Irvine. Here's the 0-1 in there for strike two, a fastball on the outside corner, no balls and two strikes to Braden Dowd. Blues looking to have an answer after the Stompers struck first in the top of the first inning. Here's the 0-2, swung on and missed, strike three. Braden Dowd goes down on three pitches in his first at-bat with San Luis Obispo. One out in this inning. So Dowd strikes out to Jake Turk, and let's meet the rest of the defense for the Sonoma Stompers. Behind the dish, it's Rudy Gonzalez. At first base, it's Benedito Giovinetti. At second base, it's Elijah Ramos. At third, Tyler Hawley. Shortstop, it's Trent Abel. In the outfield, left to right, it's Jack Scarry, Caden Dosa. And in right, it's Kyler Zukowski. 4 straight strikes. It's carrying over to Brad Navarro's at-bat, the two-hole hitter for San Luis Obispo, doing the designated hitting tonight. The switch hitter from the University of Michigan on the 0-1 count. Takes a look at the fastball in there for strike two. 6 straight strikes on 6 pitches from Jake Turk in his third start of the season. He's thrown in 7 innings so far, has allowed 6 hits and 9 strikeouts in that time. Here's the 0-2 to Navarro. That fastball misses downstairs. First ball of this game from Jake Turk. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Navarro. Bradley heading into this game was 5 for 16, a double, a triple, batted in 1 run and has stolen a single bag for San Luis Obispo. 1-2, curveball tipped foul right at home plate. And do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Braden Dowd led things off. He struck out on 3 pitches to Jake Turk for the first out of the inning. The only pure left-handed hitter in this lineup. Brad Navarro is a switch hitter. Everyone else is right-handed. 1-2, fastball missing upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bradley. And as I said, Navarro, a Michigan Wolverine, heading into his sophomore season after growing up in Huntington Beach, California. Started 14 games last season. This one's hit hard on the right side. That's going to skip through for a base hit. Backhanded attempt from Joe Vanetti. And Brad Navarro is aboard for the first knock of the day for San Luis Obispo. So nice piece of lumber from Brad Navarro, and it was hit hard enough to get past a diving attempt from Joe Vanetti. As the Blues look to spark something here with Max Lane stepping up to the plate. As I said, Navarro has only stolen 1 bag in those 29 games he played with Michigan last season. As Lane takes a look at the fastball downstairs, 1 ball and no strikes to the outfielder from Harvard. The Brainiac, as I like to call him, graduated high school as valedictorian. As Navarro takes off for second base, here's the throw down. Not in time. There's a stolen bag for Brad Navarro. Runner in scoring position now for San Luis Obispo, just like that. Off the stolen base from Bradley Navarro, his second of the season. So it's Max Lane here with now a runner at second base, trailing by 1. And a 2-0 count to Jake Turk. Turk takes 2 looks at second, now comes home. This one swung on and fouled straight back into the netting. 2 balls and 1 strike to Max Lane. In his second season with the Crimson last year, he started 23 games. Big jump from the 2 starts he had as a true freshman. He batted a .269 average and 93 at-bats. Strung together 6 extra base hits, 2 triples, and 4 doubles. As the catcher Gonzalez replaces his mitt as he tosses the old one to the head coach at the Sonoma Stompers dugout. He replaces the darker look for a lighter hide with what looks like orange stitching in between that tan leather. As the 2-1 to Max Lane comes home. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Looks like a curveball there from Jake Turk to get Max Lane swinging now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, it's Casey Borba for his first at-bat at Sinsheimer this season, and after him it's Brendan Comerford, who's had a few. Swung on and missed. He climbs the ladder for strike 3. Max Lane goes down swinging for the second strikeout of the day from Jake Turk, and there's now 2 gone in the bottom of the first inning. And as a hitter, you know, you go upstairs with the fastball after seeing the off-speed, and it just looks so delicious up there over the strike zone even. It could be at your eyes. It could be at your forehead. It don't matter as a hitter. You want to get your barrel on it really bad, and Max Lane wanted to do that, but there was no chance as that pitch was never a strike at any point from release to the catching of the mitt and Gonzalez. So now there's 2 gone here for Casey Borba, who steps up for the plate for the first time for San Luis Obispo this season. First pitch off speed in there for a strike. Touching on the outside corner was Jake Turk on the off speed with 2 gone here. Borba is an infielder from Santa Ana, California, who just spent his first season out there in Austin with the Texas Longhorns. Bigger lead over there for Navarro at second base as the 0-1 is in there for strike 2 to Borba. Borba, 4 home runs, 7 doubles in 21 hits. His first time as a Longhorn, fueling that slugging percentage to .488 off his .256 average. The kid's got pop, and he wants to showcase it here with 2 gone and a runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Jake Turk strikes out the side and strands Brad Navarro at second base after he recorded his second stolen bag of the season. Still 1-0 Sonoma as we head to the top of the second inning. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top of the second inning, back here at Sinsheimer. Thomas Harper heads back out there for his second inning of work after Jake Turk, the starting pitcher for the Sonoma Stompers, went 3 strikeouts to retire the slow Blues, but in between there, a Brad Navarro base hit, the first of the night for San Luis Obispo, but they trail by 1 to the Sonoma Stompers after the Stomps got a run off a sacrifice fly from Tyler Hawley, and after that, a strikeout from Benedino Giovinetti. So now it's 6-7-8 up to face Thomas Harper after he's allowed 1 hit. He left a runner on base, and he allowed a run to come in for Sonoma. It's Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher, who recently just changed his mitt behind the dish. Didn't see if there was a rip or anything that happened, but in the middle of an at-bat, he had to replace that catcher's mitt over with his coach out there in the dugout. Looked like a very new piece of cowhide. A bright tan look with the orange stitching. As Harper misses inside on the fastball, 2 balls and no strikes to Rudy Gonzalez, the 6-hole hitter for the Sonoma Stompers this evening. Harper comes home, and the fastball misses downstairs once again. 3 straight balls to the catcher batting 6th. Gonzalez from University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, entering his redshirt sophomore season, takes 4 straight balls for the leadoff base runner for the Sonoma Stompers. And really, Gonzalez never had to take his bat off the shoulders, as throwing pitches for strikes continues to be an issue for Thomas Harper, as it's now A.J. Carter, the DH, and the only left-handed batter for Sonoma, stepping up now for the first time this evening. Last night, Carter was penciled in as the 3-hole hitter, but after a 1-for-3 night where he struck out and was eventually pinch hit for in the 8th inning, he drops all the way down to 7th as he takes the first pitch from Harper for a ball. Now the runner on first, and Rudy Gonzalez, who reached on a 4-pitch walk from Thomas Harper. Medium-sized lead from Gonzalez as first base, as Harper missing up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to A.J. Carter. Carter, a Bulldog from the College of San Mateo, entering his sophomore season after growing up in Hayward, California. Here's the 2-0. This is swung on and hit softly on the left side. Coming in on it is Lane, and he'll get it with no problem. And there's the first out of the inning. Had to fight the sun a bit, but he did exactly what you're supposed to do as an outfielder when you're working with the sun. You pick a side that you run to, and you look at it from left to right instead of looking directly at the sun. So if you're an outfielder and the ball is completely lost in that orange ball in the sky, you just move to your right a little bit, get a different angle on it, and it looks like that's exactly what Max Lane did. Perfect placement there as he went around the right side of the sun and was able to cut it off, moving horizontally. As this one shot up the middle, Constantine dives for it, flips over to second base for 1, no throw over to first for 2. Off the fielder's choice, and nice defensive play from Gavin Constantine for the second out of the inning. So a 6-4 fielder's choice, and there's 2 gone now. As it's now the 9-hole hitter, Caden Dosa, who led off last night for the Sonoma Stompers. First pitch off speed from Thomas Harper, in there for strike 1. Good job by Constantine from preventing that ball from rolling to the outfield and ensuing more chaos for the Sonoma Stompers offense, as this one's tapped on the left side. On the short hop is Borba, throw over to first in time to retire Caden Dosa. Happy birthday, KC Borba, as the side is retired and a runner is stranded on for the Sonoma Stompers. Still 1-0 Sonoma heading to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. middle of the order for the San Luis Obispo Blues, as I'd like to remind you that this half inning is brought to you by Apex Technical Sales. You can find them at glenair-apex.com. Apex Technical Sales. We're here to make you successful. Brendan Comerford takes the first offering from Jake Turk for a ball as he heads back out there after striking out the side and stranding Brad Navarro at second base after he reached on a single and stole a bag. Comerford, his second pitch is taken for a strike, 1-1 to the Ohlone College first baseman, who's starting in his 16th game this season. That's tied for first on the team for the San Luis Obispo Blues as he checks the swing and holds it up. 2 balls and 1 strikes to Comerford. He really got to work on this road trip for San Luis Obispo. Heading into that away series, he was batting .194. He left at .228 as the slider misses outside from Jake Turk. 3 balls and 1 strike to Comerford, who also leads the team in doubles after picking up one up last night. He's got 7 on the season so far, with 11 runs batted in. Another fastball missing outside, and there's a 5-pitch walk to Brendan Comerford, leading things off here in the second inning. We talked to Comerford before the game, and he addressed the lip I gave him during the broadcast last night, talking about the jump he got stealing third base. And I stand by what he said. And I think he understood. I think we were both able to recognize that the speed might not be there that much for Comerford, but he was still able to swoop the bag over there at third. He's able to force a bad throw from behind the dish. And Vanencini, as the throw gets away, or the pitch gets away, and Comerford can easily just walk into second base. No speed required there off the wild pitch from Jake Turk. And now another runner in scoring position for San Luis Obispo. 1 ball, no strikes now to Cooper Witten, a right fielder from the University of Washington. Rocking the big old 47 on the back of the pinstripe jerseys today for San Luis Obispo. One of my favorite unis that the Blues wear, the pennies with the navy blue stripe right down the middle of the chest. 1-0, fastball missing downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to Cooper Witten, who's looking to get things going here in this start with San Luis Obispo. He's 2 for 11 on the season, just 3 runs batted in. Wants to get number 4 right now with Comerford at second base, trailing by 1 to the Stompers in Game 4 of a 4-game series. Taking off for third now is Comerford, but swung on and fouled straight back. That was actually a great jump, Brendan. I will say that right there. That jump was way better. I'm sure he'll like watching that one a little later, as Comerford had that base stolen by a few feet. Witten fouled that one straight back, and we'll do it again. 2 balls and 1 strike to the University of Washington outfielder. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and fouled over the Blues bullpen, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Witten, the San Diego native and Eagle from Santa Fe Christian High School down there in Solana Beach. Made 33 starts this past season with the Huskies, .213 batting average, and .344 slugging. You guys know I got to have my slugging. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Witten looks for his 3rd hit of the season, as well as his 4th RBI. Slider missing way outside, diving for it was Gonzalez, and Comerford can reach third with ease. 3 free 90s for Brendan Comerford as he reached on a walk, and then an advance to second on a wild pitch, and another one there to get to third base for Comerford. So now the first run of the day for San Luis Obispo over there at third base, and Comerford as he shares a laugh with third base coach Rene Regalado, and Cooper Witten locks in for the payoff pitch from Jake Turk. Turk comes home. Fastball missing downstairs, and there's a walk to the UW Huskies. Runners now at the corner for San Luis Obispo, and Owen Estabrook, tonight's catcher, batting 7th, stepping up to the plate. Back-to-back walks for Jake Turk after striking out the side this past inning in the first. 2 free base runners from the Sonoma Stompers As Estabrook, who is 4 of 13 with 3 runs batted in this season, digs in now for the Blues. Estabrook just finished up his first season with the Columbia Lions after growing up in Santa Barbara. As taken off towards second base is Witten. Real nice jump. The throw down is not in time. A stolen bag for Cooper Witten. That's his first of the season. Real good jump from Witten over there at first. Comerford, take notes, buddy. Just messing around as there's runners at second and third for San Luis Obispo. And Owen Estabrook stepping up now. Tonight's catcher for the Blues. 1 ball, no strikes coming home. That misses way upstairs at the head of Estabrook. 2-0 to the Columbia catcher who drove in 15 runs this past season. And a correction on that. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Estabrook. As I said, 15 runs batted in for the Lions last year. 21 hits, 8 of them for extra bases. Slider just missing outside. Now 2 balls and 1 strike to Estabrook. Owen fighting for his job at catcher. And Dean Traynor has a surplus of those out there in his Blues dugout. He's got Estabrook, he's got Goff to work with. He's got Nico Button, who have all been great offensively this season. And they're all trying to do their part and their audition to be the main catcher for the Blues this season. But really, if all 3 of them can hit at the production that they've been doing, it's nice as a catcher to get a couple off days from the squat now and then, and you can just get some reps at DH and just take some hacks. A good problem to have for the Blues, and a problem that Owen Estabrook is trying to create here at 2 balls and 2 strikes, as that fastball's taken for strike 3, a delayed strike 3 call from the home plate umpire. As he follows Estabrook towards the dugout. As he waves the ball boy to bring the ball, and I'm not sure if he was actually speaking to Estabrook. It looked like Owen did have a few choice of words for the home plate umpire. As that pitch, according to TrackMan, was actually a strike. So there's the 4th K of the day from Jake Turk. As now it's Jared Medham who steps up for the first time in a Blues uniform with 2 runners on. Fastball missing outside, 1 ball and no strikes. And this is a problem that the Blues offense had faced a few games this season, unable to bring the runners in, not just from scoring position, but from anywhere on the base paths. And that's a trend they don't want to slip into again here, as Medham takes the breaking ball in there for strike 1. And Medham certainly is not lacking a track record of having success with runners in scoring position. 39 runs batted in his 2-year career with the Gales at St. Mary's. With 16 home runs, 2 triples, 8 home runs and 2 triples as the ball skips away. And this is just classic CCL right here. The first run of the day for the Blues is a wild pitch that brings home Brendan Comerford. 1-1 ball game as the Blues get a run across the board with no hits in this inning. Hey, man, I guess you'll take it. You know what I mean? It's a tied ball game now. The pitch got away from Jake Turk. Gonzalez wasn't able to pick it over at home plate, and it's still Jared Medham up to the dish. Now just the lone runner at third, and Cooper Witten. That's the go-ahead run here for the St. Mary's Gale, who was named WCC All-Freshman Team his first year at St. Mary's. From the stretch, here's Turk. Breaking ball, missing just inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Didn't miss by much. Luau night here at Sinsheimer as the fans begin to trickle in wearing their Hawaiian garb, the leis, the flower shirts, the grass skirts as that one skips in the dirt, but keeping it in front is Gonzalez for ball 4 to Jared Medham, and that's the 3rd walk this inning for Jake Turk. The exact inverse of what we saw in his first inning of work. Instead of collecting 3 strikeouts like he did in the first, it's now 3 walks here to Blues batters. And one of those walks came in to score the first run of the game for San Luis Obispo, as pitching coach Mike Nunez goes out to talk to his right-hander. trying to hit reset here with his pitcher, Jake Turk, who played last season at Marin Community College and has since committed to play for the University of Hawaii out there for the Rainbow Warriors. Nunez hobbles back into the dugout as Turk gets ready to face Gavin Constantine, the shortstop, batting ninth for San Luis Obispo tonight. So runners now at the corners for San Luis Obispo after the third walk of the inning to Jared Medham, who just made his debut for San Luis Obispo tonight. Gavin Constantine, the St. Bonaventure Bonnie, who's 5 for 13 on the season. He shows bunt and pulls it away. Takes it for ball one from Jake Turk. 5 of 13, 5 runs batted in. Also stole a bag for the Blues this summer. Has flashed an impressive piece of leather over there at shortstop as well, as he's getting the nod over there tonight. Here's the 1-0 after a long hold from Jake Turk. He shows bunt again, but pulls back. The catcher Gonzalez went the snapback throw to first, but held up from an aggressive secondary from Jared Medham, the second baseman for San Luis Obispo, who has 25 career stolen bases in his first 2 years with the Gales, 11 last season, 14 in his freshman year. Throw to first, not in time. Constantine started in 4 games with the Bonnies. 19 at-bats, 2 hits, none of them for extra bases. Didn't drive anyone in. As the 2-0 comes home, skips in the dirt. Nice job Gonzalez keeping that in front. 3 balls and no strikes. It's been night and day from Jake Turk in the first and second inning. In the first, he was absolutely lights out. He was hitting his spots. He was getting real bad swings and misses from the Blues. 2 3-pitch at-bats that resulted in strikeouts for San Luis Obispo. Now all of a sudden, 3 walks here, and Turk is having some difficulties finding the strike zone. As the 3-0's down the middle of the plate, 3 balls and 1 strike to Gavin Constantine. Gavin, the brother of Cam Constantine, plenty of relation. Former SLO Blue, he played here for San Luis Obispo last season. Has taken off for second base and swinging is Constantine. Here's a throw down to second, and it's in time to gun down Jared Medham, who stumbled into second base, and he wasn't even close to reaching the bag. A guy that's filled with a lot of personality, as he smiles at his first base coach, Mason Allen, and he just straight up tripped up getting into second base. I mean, smiles all around, but a frustrating out for San Luis Obispo. As there's a walk to Gavin Constantine with 2 outs in the inning. Hard not to chuckle at that one, as he had a really good jump. He was striding well over to second base, and guy just got sniped in the middle of the base path. So 2 gone, but that was the 4th walk from Jake Turk. 4 free base runners, and the Blues only have 1 run to show for it, as Braden Dowd steps up for the 2nd time today. Dowd, the USC Trojan who just spent his first year out there in Los Angeles. And he steps up now with runners at the corners after striking out swinging to lead off the game on 3 pitches. He takes a look at ball 1. Standing in the middle of the left-handed batter's box, here he is on the 1-0, swinging and missing for strike 1. And Dowd has been one of the more highly anticipated players for San Luis Obispo this summer, as he saw some serious action last year with USC and had some sturdy production as well. This one's hit on the left side, softly to Abel, who flips it over to second for 1 for the force out, and that will retire the side. The Blues do get 1 run off a wild pitch that brought home Brendan Comerford, tied at 1 apiece, heading into the top of the 3rd inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Top of the order here for the Sonoma Stompers. Sonoma just finished their first time through the order, and they brought across 1 run in that time as Thomas Harper heads back out there for his 3rd inning of work in what is now a tied ball game. Blues had an answer back in the 2nd inning as Brendan Comerford came across the score on a wild pitch. He reached on a walk from the pitcher Jake Turk. As up now 2 balls and no strikes is Thomas Harper to Elijah Ramos, the infielder from Cal State Fullerton. So it's now a tied ball game. The Blues only have 1 hit. They didn't have any in that past inning that brought across the 1 run in classic CCL play. And in case you missed it, the stolen base attempt from Jared Medham, which has got me giggling even in between innings. He had a real nice jump. He had real nice speed going to second base, and guy just straight up got sniped in the base paths. As the first strike to Elijah Ramos in there, now 3 balls and 1 strike. To Ramos, as he grounded out to shortstop last time he was up to lead off the game. The freshman from Archbishop Mitty hits this one on the left side through the 5-5 hole for the base hit. There's the 2nd hit of the day for the Sonoma Stompers, and Elijah Ramos's 1st of the day. So a leadoff base runner here for Sonoma, as it's now the 2-hitter in Kyler Zukowski, who plays right field, stepping up for his 2nd time today. Zukowski, last time he was up, walked, and eventually came around to score off the sac fly from Tyler Hawley. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1 from Thomas Harper. Harper, who has seen light work from the bullpen this season for the Blues, has no one warming up there right now in his first start of the season for San Luis Obispo. 0-1 is swung on and hit into center field. Dowd comes in on it, and he gets there to make the grab. Looks like Braden Dowd thought that the ball was going to have a little bit more flight to it. He was about to camp underneath it, and he had to take a few emergency strides to get there, but he's able to grab that fly ball for the putout, the first out of the inning for the Blues. Now 1 gone, runner at first base, and Elijah Ramos with Jack Scarry stepping up. He had the first base hit of the afternoon for either sides, a single back in the 1st inning. Scarry also broke things up in last night's game when he hit in the 2 spot. First at bat, he had a base hit in both last night and tonight. As the fastball misses upstairs from Thomas Harper, 1 ball, no strikes to Scarry. Left fielder from Creighton. Scarry takes inside, 2 balls and no strikes. His senior year of high school, he was the team captain with a .380 batting average and stole 25 bags. And he steps up here now to Thomas Harper in a 2-0 count as that fastball's in there for strike 1. Some fun facts here on the Creighton website. I always like when the schools give some good nuggets. His go-to snack is chicken and rice. That's a classic. As he checks his swing, did he go? No, he did not. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Scarry. Chicken and rice, I can agree with. When given the choice of country, rap, or rock, he chose country. That's not going to fly with me. 3 balls and 1 strike as Scarry chokes up on the bat in the right-handed batter's box as he gets plunked by that fastball and gets awarded first base on the hit by pitch. Runners on 1st and 2nd now for the Sonoma Stompers. So Elijah Ramos gets pushed up to 2nd as Jack Scarry got hit in the back of the elbow for the hit by pitch from Thomas Harper. Now a meeting up at the mound. The entire infield's getting involved, and now Dean Traynor taking his time, getting back out there to meet everyone else. And what Harper has been struggling with so far this evening has been throwing the ball over the plate. He's thrown a lot of balls to these Sonoma Stompers hitters this evening. 2 walks and a hit by pitch, just 1 strikeout. Has forced some weak contact from the Stompers as well, but that sac fly from Tyler Hawley brought across the 1 and only run for the Stompers this evening. As we're still here in the top of the third, ball game's tied at 1. Slow Blues here on luau night as the fans begin to fill Sinsheimer Stadium and the sun sets behind Cerro San Luis. Temperatures drop at what was once a 65-degree day at first pitch for the Blues, and Thomas Harper has now dropped 3 degrees. As we're back in play now, and Tyler Hawley, the 4-hole hitter, playing third base for the Stompers, digs in. And the first pitch to him skips in the dirt. Good grab from Estabrook behind the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Hawley this series is 2 for 8. 2 singles, 2 RBIs. Been awfully productive, especially in the 2 games at Sonoma. That's where we saw the bulk of his work as he fouls this one straight back into the home plate umpire's face mask. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hawley. Another RBI opportunity here for him as Sonoma looks to take the lead with their right-handed batter, who's seen it well here in this series. Hawley, also a Titan from Cal State Fullerton, stepping up here in a 1-1 count. Here it is, hit on the left side. Constantine's got it, throw to first for 1, throw to second. Nice dig from Comerford in time for the double play. Thomas Harper gets out of the jam from the double play. Constantine met him to Comerford. The Stompers strand 1 and still tied at 1 apiece, heading into the bottom of the third. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bottom third in a 1-1 ball game, and I'd like to remind you that this half inning is brought to you by Richardson. They are the official hat of the CCL, and in this CCL matchup tonight, both squads will be wearing Richardson branded hats and will be doing so for the remainder of the season. Richardson, the official hat of the CCL. 2-3-4 for the San Luis Obispo Blues, and it's Brad Navarro batting in the left-handed batter's box, and he takes a look at strike 1 from Jake Turk, the future University of Hawaii Rainbow Warrior after just 1 season at Marin Community College. 0-1 to Navarro, missing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to the Michigan Wolverine. Navarro has the only base hit for San Luis Obispo tonight, a single back in the first inning, and he stole his 2nd bag of the year as well while on base. As that fastball's in there, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brad Navarro. Navarro this past season, in his first year at the University of Michigan, 2 doubles from 11 hits, 1 home run as well. 1-2 is swung on and missed, but fouled. And he gets a new life here in a 1-2 count to Jake Turk, who's back out there for his 3rd inning of work against the Blues. 12 runs batted in on those 11 hits. with Michigan last year in his 14 starts. Here's the 1-2 to Navarro. Off speed, hits softly the other way. Moving to his left is Hawley. The throw over to first is high, but getting his foot back down is Joe Vanetti for the first out of the inning. Nice play ranging to his left is Hawley over there at third base. And Joe Vanetti did a great job of keeping that big toe on the bag to retire Navarro for the first out of the inning. So with one away now, it's Max Lane, one of the 3 strikeout victims back in the first inning from Jake Turk. Gets another opportunity now against him in the third. Lane is a guy who can really hit the ball hard. He's one of those bats in batting practice that you hear him make contact and your head turns around and your ears perk up. And you're very curious to see where this one's going to go. 1-0 to Lane. This was swung on and hit down the left field line and foul. And I think the whole vibe in batting practice today was a bit of a feel-good round as the wind has been jetting out to left field lately. Those right-handers were having themselves a day pulling the ball at the wall or over the fence, and Max Lane was no exception as his barrel was awfully loud. And it's not just in batting practice, not just a 5 o'clock hitter. I'm not trying to say that, nor are any of the Blues hitters. What I'm saying is when he gets a hold of one, it's loud, and it goes very far, as we saw in his triple down there in Santa Barbara. It's the first hit that comes to mind for me, at least, as this one's hit sharply on the left side. Abel's got it on a tough hop. Throw over to first is in time for the second out of the inning to retire Max Lane. 2 quick outs here from Jake Turk in his third inning of work. A grounder to third and now a grounder to short. And now Casey Borba looks to get redemption as he was also a strikeout victim from Jake Turk in the first inning. Borba making his debut for the Blues tonight after spending his first season at the University of Texas, where he collected 21 hits, 7 of them for a double and 4 home runs as well. Another guy that can hit the ball very hard. Another head turner in batting practice as well, with that unique stance with his left heel off the ground as a right-handed hitter. As that fastball skips in the dirt and a backhanded pick from Gonzalez for ball 1. Borba grew up in Santa Ana, California, and is a graduate of Orange Lutheran High School, where his father, Eric, is the head coach. 1-0, missing downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to the Texas infielder. And after playing for his father, Eric, at Orange Lutheran, he was voted the best third baseman in California's Southern Section high school baseball. As the 2-0 clips the outside corner for strike 1. As a junior in the 2022 season in high school, he hit .353 with 6 home runs, 29 runs batted in, and 21 runs scored. 2-1, missing outside. Gonzalez desperately tried to frame that one, but he doesn't get the call. 3 balls and 1 strike to Borba, making his slow Blues debut tonight, second AB at Sinsheimer this summer. Here's Turk from the windup on the 3-1 pitch. Fastball hit hard into left field. Moving to his left is Scary, and he won't get there as it hits off the wall. A double for Casey Borba as he can easily cruise into second base. Second knock of the day for San Luis Obispo, and it's a loud one off the bat of Casey Borba, hitting off the wall out there in left field. 100 miles an hour, putting a dent in one of the advertisements. And according to our TrackMan technology as well, that's 384 out there in the left center gap. That's most likely gone in the majority of the ballparks that the Blues will play this season. But at the graveyard that is Sinsheimer, it's extra bases. I'm sure Casey Borba will take it in his first hit of the season for the Blues. And San Luis Obispo's second of the day, as Brendan Comerford, who knows a thing or two about hitting doubles, takes the slider for strike 1 as he leads the team with 7. He crowds the plate here from the right-handed batter's box after walking back in the second inning and coming around to score on a wild pitch. 1 look at second, no one's there. 0-1, swung on and missed for strike 2. Comerford, that whole plate appearance, that whole time out there on the base paths was just given from the Sonoma Stompers defense. And let me explain what I mean. He walked to reach first base. He reached second on a wild pitch, reached third on a wild pitch, and then came to score on a wild pitch. Here he is now on the 0-2, though, And the slider is yanked up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brendan Comerford. The Ohlone College infielder looking to trade places with Borba at second base for what would be the 8th time this season. 2 looks from Turk. He now comes home on the 1-2 to Comerford, and it skips in the dirt. Moving to one knee is Gonzalez. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Comerford. Deuces are wild here, and the bottom of the 3rd inning in a tied game, 1-1. Slow Blues and the Sonoma Stompers. Game 4 of a 4-game series. Blues have already taken it, but they want to get the sweep here at Sinsheimer in front of the loyal San Luis Obispo fans. 2-2, holding up his swing is Brendan Comerford on the slider outside. Count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. His explosive season last year at Ohlone, he hit in 39 runs from 12 homers, 12 doubles, and a triple in 52 hits. Payoff pitch from Turk. Here it comes. Gone the other way is Comerford, and that will be foul. And I talked to Comerford in batting practice today. As a known pulled hitter for a right-handed guy, he went the opposite way for extra bases last night, hugging the right field line. Not where you typically see the ball land for Brendan Comerford, and he said it felt real good to do that. Real nice feeling off the bat. I'm sure he wants to replicate that here. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 gone and a runner on second base as he checks his swing. And they say he held up, and he'll be awarded first base on the walk. So Brendan Comerford with the walk, and he keeps the 2-out rally alive. A double from Casey Borba, and now a walk from Brendan Comerford, who worked himself a real nice at-bat right there to keep this inning afloat for San Luis Obispo. Now it's Cooper Witten, who walked his last time up and stole his first bag of the season over there at first base. Now the manager for the Sonoma Stompers there to have a discussion with the home plate umpire, maybe to talk about not appealing to first or checking that swing on Comerford. And personally, from our angle up here in the broadcast booth, it's sometimes difficult to tell, but from an unbiased opinion, I don't think he went. But still, the umpire having an animated discussion with the manager for the Stompers, and he brings across the rest of his crew to get an official diagnosis on the check swing from Brendan Comerford, who hangs out at first base and has a nice conversation with Joe Vanetti over there. Casey Borba chatting it up as well with his fellow infielders. Good vibes here at Sinsheimer. On luau night, as I said, fans dressed up in their Hawaiian garb, and they get $5 tickets entering tonight's ball game. We're seeing that here as the stadium begins to fill up and the sun begins to set. And fans, if you're looking for another theme game where you can take advantage of discounted tickets like that, I would come out to the game on July 2nd. It's Jersey night. If you show up to the ballpark at Sinsheimer and your favorite jersey, doesn't matter what it is as long as it's not a Santa Barbara Foresters jersey. I'm just messing around. You still get $5 off your tickets entering the ballpark. And so it looks like the home plate umpire is going to say it hit Comerford in the forearm. And they're actually going to say it was a no on the check swing. So after the appeal to first, they confirm that there was no check swing on Comerford. And it remains a walk in the scorebook. Runners on first and second now for Cooper Witten, who walked himself last time he was up, as that fastball almost hit him for ball 1 in this at-bat. 1-1 ball game, bottom of the 3rd inning here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Sonoma Stompers visiting the San Luis Obispo Blues. SLO wants to take the lead here with runners on first and second. Witten swings and misses at the off-speed for strike 1. Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And I talked about earlier guys with loud contact, especially in the batting cage bubble. Max Lane and Casey Borba. Even Brendan Comerford is that guy too. Cooper Witten, no exception as well. Long hold from Turk and on the mound as he looks at second twice, and that pitch gets away from Gonzalez. Runners on first and second move up a station each, and now 2 runners in scoring position for Witten, who hit a grand slam at UCLA off the bat at 109 miles per hour, and his first collegiate home run was 111. That went 432 feet. Hit a couple bombs in batting practice today, hung up there for an awfully long time, and he parked them over the storage bins in left field. I'm sure he'd like to put that power on display now, as there's now 2 runners in scoring position for Witten. The UW Husky awaits the 2-1 offering. Here it comes, and he swings at the fastball elevated in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Witten. 2 runners in scoring position, and he's capable of being clutch, folks. He hit a walk-off single in the 13th inning against number 12 Arizona, who eventually went on to host a regional in this college baseball postseason. Here's the 2-2 to Witten, taking all the way on that fastball up and away, counting out full of 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jake Turk's pitch count is getting up there as he had difficulty throwing the strike in the second inning, and now the hitters here for the Blues have working themselves into some pretty deep at-bats here in the third, as an arm is getting loose in the bullpen for the Sonoma Stompers, a left-hander. Payoff pitch to Cooper Witten. Here it comes, and it misses downstairs, ball 4. There's a 2-out walk to Cooper Witten, and that'll fill things up here, fill the bases up for San Luis Obispo in Owen Estabrook.
Batting now, number 15, the catcher, Owen Estabrook, out of Columbia University. Nice job out there, Austin. I'll take this second here to give you guys a little heads up about the
So now a mound visit here for Mike Nunez as he heads out to talk to Jake Turk, and I have a sneaky suspicion that his day is over, as the pitcher getting loose, Garrett James, is now no longer on the mound. And Nunez is taking his time out there talking to his defense. The base runners for San Luis Obispo having some fun with the field umpires. And it looks like James will actually stay in the bullpen. So, being left out there is Jake Turk with the bases loaded, and Owen Estabrook digging in now for his second time today. Estabrook is 4 of 14 on the season. He has 3 runs batted in, and he'd like to be clutch here for San Luis Obispo now. And the first pitch to him, swung on, hit the left field, softly hit, Scary moving to his right, and it drops into foul territory. Strike 1 to Estabrook. Looks like it had a sneaky chance to leak just right of the left field line. Scary never really had a solid beat on it. But now heading back into the batter's box is Owen Estabrook, doing it now at no balls and 1 strike. Looming on deck, it's Jared Medham, the second baseman from St. Mary's. After him, it's Gavin Constantine in the 9-hole. Estabrook on the 0-1. And he looks at that slider downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Owen. ...21 hits last season with the Lions in 25 games that he started. 6 of them doubles, 2 of them home runs. Here's a 1-1. Moving out of the way of that fastball as a throwback to second, and staying over in the middle of the base path is Comerford. Now we got a rundown on the third base line, and dodging the tag and actually applying it is the infielder and Abel. He gets out Casey Borba, and that will retire this side. A chaotic finish on the throw down to second base. Brendan Comerford never went back to the bag. He just got stuck in the middle of the base path and resulted in a run down at third base. The Blues leave him stranded. It's still 1-1 now heading to the 4th inning. We say hello to Ryan Giacomini. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues streaming network. Top of the fourth inning as the 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Sonoma Stompers head back out there for Thomas Harper's fourth inning of work. The Blues left him stranded after a chaotic finish and a rundown over there at third base as Brendan Comerford got caught in the middle of the base paths. As Ryan Giacomini joins me in the broadcast booth for the remainder of this game. Ryan, what did you see on that play to end the inning?
Comerford just got caught in the middle like you mentioned, and there was nothing he could do once Rudy Gonzalez noticed, threw down to second, and then it put the runner on third, which was Casey Borba, in a weird situation where now he's in the rundown because of Comerford's mistake. You would have loved to score there with him loaded.
0-2 missing way upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Benedino Giovanetti, who struck out his last time up in the first inning. And those are just miscues on the base paths that just can't happen. You're brewing a 2-out rally, and you're tied at 1 to the Sonoma Stompers, as this one's fouled right at home plate. We'll do it again at 1 and 2. Those are just kind of some things that you can't really have miscues on. You get a golden opportunity to take the lead in this game, and you lose it with a base running mistake.
Especially when the pitcher, Turk, is giving up free passes. You want to take advantage of those and score runs.
Here's the 1-2 now to Joe Vanetti, and it's taken outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Thomas Harper.
Good spot on the 1-2 slider. Catcher Estabrook really liked it. Did a good job starting it right on that outer half and diving away.
Giovanetti takes now 3 balls and 2 strikes to the 5-hole hitter for the Sonoma Stompers tonight. And Giovanetti, who has 3 doubles on the season in his 3 base hits. Here's the payoff pitch, and this one spoiled up and out of play. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As it looks like there is an arm getting loose in the Blues bullpen. And Thomas Harper heading back out there for his 4th inning of work. Here's 3-2. Swung on and fouled again out of play. Staying alive here in the full count is Benedito Giovanetti. And those 3 doubles that I mentioned in those 3 hits all came in this series. In the first 2 games that the Blues played up there in Sonoma against the Stompers. Payoff again, missing downstairs for ball 4. Good at bat there from Benedito Giovanetti, spoiling off pitches he didn't like, taking pitches for balls, and it paid off for him in the walk and the leadoff base runner for Sonoma. So now it's Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher, who walked his first time up. Gonzalez this series is 0 for 3 and has 2 walks against the Blues. First pitch swinging down the left field line and foul. Gonzalez from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley and a native of Edinburgh, Texas. The 5'7" catcher crouches in his batter stance in the middle of the right-handed batter's box as the fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gonzalez. In his first season with the Vaqueros, he started in 6 games. He played in 12 of them. A .261 batting average with 6 hits and a double. Brought across 5 runs as well. 1-1, fastball clips the outside of the zone for strike 2. The catcher and a graduate of Vela High School down there in Texas. Swings and hits this one on the left side. Backhand from Borba. Throw over to second in time. Here's the throw over to first. And he can't get there as they get the force out at second base. But Rudy Gonzalez reaches on the fielder's choice.
A really good play by Borba. He likes to play on that infield grass, something I've noticed throughout the game. He plays there almost every single at-bat. And that was a hard-hit ball right to his backhand. Scooped it up, threw it over to second. It was going to be tough to get the out at first because of how long it took him to turn and throw the ball to second base, but a really good play to get one out.
And Ryan, what might be some of the advantages for Borba or the mindset of having the toes up on the infield grass every time?
I think last night he was watching from the dugout and he saw how many times that the Stompers team squared and bunt. I mean, it was maybe 2, 3, 4 times. So he's playing up on the grass. It also allows him to, if he doesn't have as strong of an arm, to use his glove abilities and get the ball over to first quicker.
Fouled straight back in the netting for strike 2, 0-2 to A.J. Carter. Borba making his first start for the Blues tonight. Over there at third base. And for San Luis Obispo. As down in the count, 0-2 is A.J. Carter, the only left-handed hitter for Sonoma tonight. 0-2 fastball taken for strike 3. There's the second strikeout of the evening for Thomas Harper and the second out of the inning for the Blues.
In the limited time we saw from Harper coming into this game, he only had 3 strikeouts in 3 innings. Not going to kill you with velocity. He's not a big strikeout guy. He's looking to get soft contact and let the defense behind him work. But a good pitch sequence there to get A.J. Carter looking.
Second K of the day, 2 gone here in the 4th inning. Slow Blues tied with the Sonoma Stompers in the top of the 4th with a runner on first base and Rudy Gonzalez, who reached on fielder's choice. And that first pitch is taken from Trent Abel for ball 1. The shortstop, Trent Abel from Cal State Northridge, who was 0 for 4 last night with 2 strikeouts. And earlier this evening, he reached on a fielder's choice and steps up now for the second time today with Thomas Harper. And this one sent into center field. Moving to his right is Dowd. Comes in on it. Makes the easy play for the third out of the inning. So the Sonoma Stompers strand a runner on first base. No hits, no runs, no errors. Will head to the bottom of the 4th. Tied 1 apiece for Ryan Giacomini. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom 4 in this half inning is brought to you by Plan Perfect Retirement. Be sure to contact Sherry Tollerman at planperfectretirement.com. Plan Perfect, corporate retirement plan specialists. So we have a new pitcher in now for the Sonoma Stompers. Jake Turk's day is done. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 6 walks and 4 strikeouts. He now gives way to Garrett James, the former Santa Rosa Junior College left-hander, now in for the Sonoma Stompers. And the first pitch to Owen Estabrook is taken outside for ball 1. Coming set is the left-hander as he twitches on the hill and Estabrook holds up on his swing. 2 balls and no strikes upstairs. James, a Bulldog from Texas Lutheran, spent his first season there last year in 6 innings pitched. He also threw 6 strikeouts, 7 walks, 13 earned runs. And now he stands in here with Estabrook after 3 straight balls. Here it comes, and there's ball 4. A leadoff walk from Owen Estabrook after he was stranded in the batter's box last inning with Casey Borba getting caught in a rundown down there at third base.
Garrett James also pitched for the Stompers last summer. It was a pretty solid arm for him out of the bullpen, 14 and a third innings. Struck out 12, walked 9.
As it's now Jared Medham looking for his first hit of his Blues career in his debut tonight. And he takes a look at ball 1 here. The St. Mary's Gale stepping up for San Luis Obispo. And last time he was up, he walked and then was eventually caught stealing over there at second base after tripping up 5 feet in front of the bag. As the 1-0 is taken downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Medham now talks over to third base coach Rene Regalado, having a discussion as they meet in the middle down the third base line. Lengthy convo as Rene covers his mouth and taps Medham on the head, heads back to the batter's box, and a 2-0 count to the new pitcher in Garrett James. Runner at first base, that's Owen Estabrook. He reached on a 4-pitch walk, 6 straight balls from Garrett James after entering this ballgame to relieve Jake Turk. He shows bunt, gets it down, real nice bunt. Coming in on it is Hawley. Throw on the run is in time. And holding up at second base is Owen Estabrook off a successful sacrifice bunt. And clearly, that's what the conversation was.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 100% chance that Rene Regalado said, why don't you lay one down, Jared? Jared did. It was a great bunt. I thought he had a chance to beat it out at first, but a really good play by Hawley to get it across the diamond. A really productive out, however, in this game that we've seen. Not a lot of opportunities been taken by either side.
No, the Blues have left 6 runners on base, and something I alluded to earlier in the broadcast, something they struggle with at times, where they'll have some good offensive nights, and then other times they just keep stranding the runners on, but the pitching keeps bailing them out as they've only held the Sonoma Stompers to 1 run this entire ballgame. They got the 1 to lead off the game on the sacrifice fly. It's been goose eggs ever since. It's now up to the Blues offense to capitalize on the great job by the pitchers as the half swing from Constantine is taken. 2 balls and 2 strikes from the St. Bonaventure infielder. Constantine chokes up on his brand new silver bat after he walked in the second inning for his first plate appearance of the day. Garrett James, completely engulfed in the shadows, comes home on the 2-2, and Constantine fouls this one straight back. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Constantine was telling us yesterday that the bat he broke in Sonoma on Sunday was his baby, and he had to go and get this gray, like light blue bat, and he's getting used to it still, but I actually rewatched the video of him breaking it, and you can see how disappointed he is walking back to the dugout.
0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Gavin Constantine goes down swinging, and there's the second out of the inning for Garrett James. There truly is no greater heartbreak than when you shatter a wood bat that you just love. It actually happened to me when I was in college. I had this piece of lumber. It was a J.J. Hardy bat, of all people. You would think it'd be like a Mike Trout, but no. J.J. Hardy, role-play infielder for the Baltimore Orioles. I broke it in the batting cage, not even in a game. I think I shed a tear or two.
Yeah.
As Braden Dowd dodges that fastball for ball 1.
I mean, the cages sucks. At least, like, maybe in beeps or something.
Right?
But the cages?
In the tunnel. Like, in my local batting cage. I was by myself. I was doing a little 10 p.m. hit session. And just went too hard, man. It was a sad, sad moment. 1-0 to Braden Dowd is swung on and missed. Talk about a guy who takes huge hacks. There's Dowd right there for strike 1. He's 0 for 2 on the day, looking for his first base hit as a Blue after striking out and grounding into a fielder's choice in the second inning to end things that frame.
Dowd does have some power. He slugged 400 at USC this last year as a freshman.
Swung on, going the other way. Scary going back on it, fighting the sun. He makes the grab, moving back. And that will end things here in the 4th inning. So the Blues have no answer still. It's tied at 1 apiece, heading into the top of the 5th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in for the Slow Blues as Thomas Harper's day is done. It's Ericus Pajunius heading into his freshman season at the University of Michigan next year after graduating from Notre Dame High School out there in Sherman Oaks, California. In his his junior season pitching in high school, a .26 ERA and 13 appearances, and he makes his first for San Luis Obispo tonight in a 1-1 ball game. Sonoma Stompers in town to play the Blues in Game 4 of a 4-game set.
Yeah, and that was his junior year. I can only imagine if he has a .26 his junior year, what he did his varsity season. We don't have those stats available, unfortunately. But yeah. Michigan got a good one.
Yeah, Max Prep's only going back to his junior season. Weren't able to find anything more recently, but is a graduate of Notre Dame. And we'll head back out there with the Wolverines come in the fall. He will be reunited with Bradley Navarro, who's batting second tonight for the Blues and doing the designated hitting, as well as June Sung Park, on another fellow Michigan Wolverine, on the bench tonight for San Luis Obispo. So now it's the 9-hole hitter, Caden Dosa, as he takes a look at strike one from Pajunius, the new right-handed pitcher for San Luis Obispo. From the windup, here he comes again, and the sidewinder misses downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dosa is 0 for 1 of the day. He grounded to third his first time up, and last night he was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and a double. Breaking ball in there for a strike. A slider that clips the bottom half of the zone. It's now 1-2 to Caden Dosa.
Dosa just 3 for 10 in the series, a double with 4 strikeouts, looking to get it going here.
And he pops this one up very high over the lights, but playable in the infield. Comerford's got it, and he squeezes it for the first out of the inning.
A mile-high pop-up to Comerford. Mentioned it got up above the lights, which makes it a little bit harder to see. luckily it wasn't. We don't have the twilight sky effect here at Sinsheimer quite yet, and he was able to corral that.
Yeah, we talked about that sky last night. It's something I love to mention as a former outfield because it's a problem I had to deal with a lot. And when I see these kids out here in summer ball, I completely understand the difficulty of trying to track the ball in the air when you're playing at that time of day. As the first pitch to the leadoff man, Elijah Ramos, is taken inside for ball one. Second baseman for the Stompers is 1 for 2 on the evening, a single back in the third, and a grounder to short in the first inning. Fastball missing low and away from Ericus Pajunius. 1-0 to the Cal State Fullerton infielder. That one's taken downstairs. Now 3 balls and no strikes. Correction on the count there to Elijah Ramos. Ramos, a native of San Jose, California, where he played at Archbishop Mitty High School. And he takes that fastball in there for a strike. But Junius might have gotten a call there on a fastball that looked up and away to the right-handed batter. 3 balls and 1 strike to Ramos, and he swings and misses for strike 2.
Good job working from 3-0 to 3-2, now with a chance to get the leadoff runner out.
Here's the payoff pitch from Pajunius, slowly working in the windup and tapping this one down the third base line and foul. And it's Elijah Ramos.
Good slider and a good stay alive hack from Ramos.
Wants to win the battle here against Pajunius on another payoff pitch from him. Slider just missing outside for ball 4. I thought that had a chance to clip the outer half of the strike zone, but it goes up as a ball, and the first one from Pajunius in this outing.
And a very close pitch, but a good call by the home plate umpire, according to TrackMan, which had that just outside the zone.
So it's now a 1-out base runner for Kyler Zukowski, the 2-hole hitter for Sonoma this evening. And he's, in his 2 plate appearances, has walked and came around to score the only run this game for Sonoma. And last time he was up, he flew out to center field. Zukowski from Madison, Wisconsin, a state where he was ranked among his class as the 4th best outfielder in the state by both Perfect Game and Prep Baseball Report. In his first season with the Blue Jays, first time he saw action, he got 100 at-bats, 23 hits in that time, 3 home runs and 6 doubles. Brought across 18 runs in those 23 hits as well. As he's got a runner on here at first base, and Elijah Ramos, and he takes the fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to Zukowski. Playing right field tonight, as he did last night, where he went 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. 2-0 is swung on and missed for strike 1. Real big hack there as Zukowski bend on the left knees for strike 1.
Good attack by Pajunius. Down 2-0, knew he needed to get back in the count.
2-1, skipping down stairs and smothering it as Estabrook. 3 balls and 1 strike to Zukowski. Zukowski, right-handed hitter who also lettered twice in volleyball while in high school. Swung and tapped down the left field line, foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not a typical secondary sport you see for a baseball player. Usually it's like a football or a basketball moment. Volleyball for Zukowski. Meet me at the net. Payoff pitch taken off for second base is Ramos, but it won't matter as Zukowski is aboard with the walk.
Back-to-back walks. Pajunius just needs to find the strike zone and get ahead of these batters instead of falling behind.
So after getting Caden Dosa to pop out to Comerford, a towering pop up for the first out of the inning, he allows 2 straight walks. Double play ball still in order. And if Pajunas, could get a ground ball here, the infield could easily flip a double play and get out of this inning. And what would be the second double play of this game. The Blues turned 1 last night as well against the Sonoma Stompers. As the first pitch to the 3-hole hitter, and Jack Scarry is taken for strike 1. Scarry has reached base safely in his 2 plate appearances tonight, a single in the first and a hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. Both coming off of Thomas Harper as he stands in for the first time against Pajunas here in the 5th inning. Taking off for 3rd and checking his swing is Scarry. A stolen bag for Elijah Ramos. Zukowski held up at first, so now there's runners at the corners, and the infield's going to have to play in here, 1 out here on a runner at 3rd.
I'm interested to see what might happen if a ball is hit at Borba at 3rd. He's been playing on the grass all day long. Interested to see if he'll come home or if he'll try to turn 2.
No balls and 2 strikes to Jack Scarry against Pajunas. Here he comes, checking his swing. They appeal to first, and they say he went around. Strike 3 swinging to Jack Scarry, and there's now 2 away here on the first K of the night for Pajunas.
I don't know how the home plate umpire didn't catch that. I saw it from my view about 100 feet and 30 feet up from home plate. It is a very clearly a sword from Pajunas.
That's a big strikeout there from Ericus Pajunas. With runners at the corners, now there's 2 gone for Tyler Holly, the 3rd baseman for the Stompers. Holly, also a Cal State Fullerton, growing up in Laverne, California. First pitch taken for strike 1 to Holly. Sacrifice fly in the 1st inning, and then a 6-4-3 double play in the 3rd. No balls and 1 strike. Here's Pajunas from the stretch, and the slider misses outside. 1-1 now to Holly. Real good action on that slider, though. A lot of good movement, good things to pick up there. Wouldn't be surprised if Pajunas came back to that pitch for the out pitch. Could be his specialty when he gets up in the count onto batters. Here's a fastball, skips in the dirt, good backhanded scoop from Estabrook. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Tyler Holly.
Yeah, really good scoop by Estabrook. He's done a good job being a wall back there. No pass balls or wild pitches at all today.
2-1, gets past Estabrook, and a run comes in to score for the Sonoma Stompers. They take the lead on the wild pitch, 2-1 Sonoma.
I mean, I know you're not a big superstition guy, but what about that? What do you got to say there?
Holy announcer's curse. My goodness. The amount of times that it's happened this summer is starting to make me believe, Ryan.
You should. I mean, that was ridiculous. I literally just said no wild pitch or pass balls, and right away there's a wild pitch that scores a run. A costly error, regardless of superstition or not.
I don't know if they're going to let you back onto the field for batting practice on Friday to talk to the players.
Every time they swing, I'll just say bomb.
Swung on the left side through the diving attempt from Borba. Down the left field line and coming around to score is Zukowski. He'll do so standing as gingerly walking into second base is Joe Vanetti. And looks like they'll call it a foul ball here. Very delayed call as heading back towards second base is now Zukowski. He'll trade spots with Joe Vanetti in the batter's box.
Wow. That was a really delayed call. I mean, They let him get all the way around the throw. I didn't even see a call at all. The cutoff, I mean, that was crazy how late that call was. I'm surprised we're not seeing Zach Pace or somebody from the Stompers arguing about that one.
And no one said anything, and I saw Borba go after that diving ball, and honestly, to me, it looked like it was fair. But we didn't see anything, and yeah, like you said, the runner in Zukowski came all the way around to score, and no one had said anything. And actually on that swing, it was Tyler Holly, not Benedito Giovanetti. Hawley will do it again here on 3-2. And he swings, and that one misses it outside for ball 4. So Pajunius now with a 2-out walk here. Now it's Benedito Giovanetti with 2 gone and runners on first and second.
You just got to throw strikes out there. These batters have not really proven in the last 3 games that they can hit the ball all that well. They've shown their sparks here and there, but there's no need to work around all these batters. Just those strikes make them earn it, especially with 2 outs. You're 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
2 on and a 1-1 ball game with 2 out here for the Sonoma Stompers as the first pitch to Giovanetti is taken downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. The first baseman, pitcher, and former player at De Anza College, where he spent his first season of college ball, steps up now for the Stompers. Stopping at second base is Zukowski, awaiting the offering from Pajunius as he steps off the rubber.
So the Stompers thought they had an RBI double from Tyler Hawley. Instead, he's at first base with a walk as the umpires ruled it a foul ball.
1 ball, no strikes to Giovanetti in a 1-1 ball game here at Sinsheimer. Here's the pitch from Pajunius, and that skips away out of the diving attempt from Estabrook. Runners move up a station each. Now runners at second and third for the Sonoma Stompers.
All right, now they might not let me on the field.
Have some feel, Ryan.
I mean,
Come on, man.
2 and 3 batters after I mention it.
I do have to say it feels good to be on this side because typically I'm in your shoes and I'm getting some heat from you.
Yeah, I've been pretty good this summer, but not being good to Owen Estabrook right now.
Thought you'd say, oh, why not? Let's just throw that stat out there. What's the worst that can happen? Swung on the left side, moving to his left and under the glove of Casey Borba and past the diving attempt from Constantine. 1 run comes in, a second one comes in for the Sonoma Stompers.
That was not going to be an easy play for Casey Borba, but it looked like to me he had his glove up in the air and then tried to put it down. You're usually taught to do it the other way. Start with your glove down. It's easier to bring it up, and it just snuck under his glove. Gavin Constantine actually did a really good job to try to dive and keep it from going too far into the outfield and making it only a 1-run RBI, or a 1-run single, excuse me, but he was unsuccessful.
So now it's a 3-1 ball game here. Sonoma Stompers are leading the San Luis Obispo Blues, actually 4-1. As this one misses downstairs from Pajunius. 1 ball, no strikes to Rudy Gonzalez. Yeah, good placement there from Gavin Constantine at shortstop to try to back up the attempt from Borba, but he dove as well, and that effort wasn't good enough as the ball rolled past him too. And I think a lot of times at Sinsheimer, it's an aged infield, so I think the infielders on the dirt are expecting a hop to come up and get him in the chest or come up and get him at waist height, and it looks like that's what Borba was doing. But you're right, Ryan. You got to go down to up. That's what you're taught as a kid, and that's what Borba had to do there. As that pitch is taken for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike to Rudy Gonzalez, who is 0 for 1 on the day.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough play regardless for Borba, but if you get to those mechanics, he might have a chance to at least save a run from scoring or get that out at first.
In there for strike 2 after Gonzalez swings and misses, evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first base. That's Benedito Giovanetti, who just had the 2 RBI single to take the lead for Sonoma. Shadows have completely covered San Luis Obispo as the day comes to an end. This one's rolled down the third base line and foul. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Fans want their hot sauce. They've only gotten 3 bottles today. 4, excuse me.
Gonzalez awaits the 2-2 offering. Here it is. This one swung on and hit into shallow center field. Dowd getting some work out there, comes in on it, makes the running grab for the 3rd out of the inning, but the Sonoma Stompers take the lead off a 2 RBI single from Benedito Giovanetti. It's 4-1 Sonoma heading into the bottom of the 5th. I'm Nate Mills with Ryan Giacomini on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. James here in the bottom of the fifth. So it's Brad Navarro, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He's got a stolen bag as well. Got his first hit back in the first inning as the 1-1 is pop foul out of play. And now's a good time to remind you that this half inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. So now down 1-2 is Brad Navarro for his third time today. The switch hitter for the Blues, one of the 2 switch hitters that they have on their roster. The other one being Bryson Hoyer. He got the start yesterday. As that fastball misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bradley Navarro.
I got to say, we didn't see Hoyer in the lineup today, but he was crushing baseballs in batting practice. I asked him, you mentioned he's a switch hitter, what side he feels he has more power from. He said right-handed, or left-handed, excuse me. But he said his goal right now is to he said right-handed. I'm all over the place.
As this one's popped up, Joe Vanetti is coming in on it, and foul territory, almost slips and makes the grab over his head for the first out of the inning.
So to finish my story, he said he has more power from the right side, and his goal right now is during batting practice in that left-handed batter's box. He wants to hit a ball the opposite way over the bowl in left center field that sits right next to that 380-foot sign.
That's some serious juice, man. Casey Borba is a guy who's got power, and we saw him hit that exact part of the wall with his 100-mile-an-hour double, and that was on the pull side. As this one's popped up, playable in the infield, Lane flips his bat. The entire infield converges on it, but Phelan just makes the catch himself.
I think both Joe Vanetti and Hawley had kind of delayed reactions. And Phelan's like, well, I'm standing right here, might as well grab it. But weird, you almost never see pitchers catch pop-ups on the infield. We had Phelan do it today and Hawk Hill do it yesterday.
Yeah, especially at the collegiate level. That's something that your coaches will get on you for. The pitchers should never have to make that play. And it looked like Hawley and Joe Vanetti were animated enough to convince me, at least, that they were communicating on that ball as they almost ran into each other. And Phelan almost frustratingly grabbed it out of the air for the second out of the inning. So now here's Casey Borba, the aforementioned Casey Borba, who smoked a double off the left center gap back in the third inning. He's 1 for 2 on the day. That was his first hit of the season in his debut here at Sinsheimer. That pitch misses downstairs. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Actually 1-1 now to Casey Borba, who showed that loud contact in the third inning. Pull side pop. He hitches here in the right-handed batter's box and awaits Phelan. Fastball missing outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Casey Borba. Borba, before his time at Texas, competed in the USA Baseball 2022 Prospect Development League. He was also part of the 2018 U14 National Team Development Program. Here's the 2-1, sent up and out of play over the Blues bullpen for strike 2. And it looks like there's a new arm getting hot in the Blues bullpen, looking to make his first appearance for San Luis Obispo this season. It's Jace Evangelista from the University of Washington. Here's the 2-2. Borba swings and hits this one deep into left center field. Going back on it is Scary, now coming in, dropping to one knee, making the snag for the third out of the inning. The Blues go in order after Riley Phelan's first inning of work. It's 4-1 Sonoma heading into the top of the 6th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Welcome back to Sinsheimer here in the top of the 6th inning. New pitcher in for San Luis Obispo. It's Jace Evangelista making his first appearance for the Blues this summer. Last season was his first year up there in Seattle, Washington with the UW Huskies. 21 2/3 innings pitched for a 4.98 ERA. With 2 starts, he had 22 strikeouts to 13 walks. And now he steps in now, the right-hander. First time toting the rubber for the Blues this evening.
Which means Ericus Pajunas' day is done. He gives up in 1 inning, just 1 hit, but 3 runs that are all earned. Walks 3 batters, strikes out 1.
So now it's Evangelista up to face 7, 8, 9 for the Sonoma Stompers. Here on what has become an awfully chilly evening at Sinsheimer. It's supposed to be luau night. Everyone's out here wearing their grass skirts and their sun hats, and now they're going to have to be busting out the puffers pretty soon.
Yeah, I almost never wear shorts to the games, and today I decided to for luau night, and that was a mistake. I'm quite chilly.
I'll do you one more. I didn't even bring my jacket. I have my shorts and my shirt here on luau night, and that's what I was anticipating. I was anticipating a nice, warm evening. You'd think in the summer, but not here on the Central Coast. So Evangelista, for the first time this season, faces A.J. Carter, the only left-handed batter tonight for the Sonoma Stompers. Swings and misses on the fastball for strike 1.
Well, if we were in Honolulu, Hawaii,
there you go.
79 feels like 82 right now. They are 3 hours behind, so it is 5 o'clock, but still much nicer.
I guess it's true. I guess it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So that fastball is taken for strike 2 to A.J. Carter, the DH, batting 7th.
I feel like it's 5 o'clock here at the ballpark every time the Blues scores, and we have discounted beer and wine.
Hello.
You see all the people just scamper towards our beer lines.
Looks like that one got A.J. Carter on the wrist, and he's hit by pitch from Evangelista. As he's frustrated with himself there, and he shakes his head as the DH heads over to first base.
Maybe disappointed because coming to summer ball, you're really just out here to swing the bat, doesn't want to get hit, and he kind of loaded for that pitch, didn't try to get out of the way of it. He's up there wanting to swing the bat, show off what he can do, not get hit by pitches.
So now Evangelista with a runner on, the first batter that he saw in a Blues uniform. He goes back at the fastball for strike. Evangelista is sitting in the upper 80s, and he was 88 on that fastball right there. And he misses outside on it here. 1 ball and 1 strike to Trent Abel, the 8-hitter for the Stompers this evening. Abel is 0 for 2 tonight, 6'4" fielder's choice, and a fly out to center field. He was also 0 for 4 last night, had 2 strikeouts as well. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. This one's hit hard out to left field. Lane going back on it, and it goes off the top of the wall. Rounding second and heading towards third is A.J. Carter. There is a double for Trent Abel.
That ball was annihilated off the bat of Trent Abel, 95 miles an hour. That's the best piece of hitting we've seen from him all series. He came in to that at bat just 1 for 13.
So he hops off the schneid there with the rocket double off the top of the wall. And frankly, I thought I had a chance to get out the way balls were moving in batting practice. But I guess as the air gets cooler and the air gets also thicker as well, balls start to die more. As the first pitch here to Caden Dosa is taken inside for ball 1. Not the start that Evangelista was looking for into relieve Pajunas, as back-to-back base runners from the hit by pitch and the 95-mile-an-hour double from Abel. 1-0, swung on and missed from Caden Dosa.
Yeah, not at all the start he was looking for. Now the infield is in. You're already down 3, don't want to make it any more in the later half of this game. It's kind of interesting, though. Constantine's playing halfway between the outfield and infield grass, trusting his arm if he gets a ball.
Nice off-speed in there for strike 2 to Caden Dosa, the Bulldog from Yale. From Mill Valley, California, now over there in New Haven, Connecticut, playing in the Ivy League. And here on the 1-2, he swings and chops this one right behind home plate. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Strikeout situation for Evangelista against the 9-hitter Dosa here. Would like to get an out without having a ball hit in play.
1 ball and 2 strikes here to the 9-hole hitter Dosa. Half swing and strike 3 from Evangelista, his first K in the Blues uniform. It gets an uncomfy swing from Dosa, first out of the inning.
Very good slider there from Evangelista to get that strikeout. As I mentioned, the strikeout spot, you're in another one here with no force out at second base. Either look for that strikeout or like an infield pop out, something that just doesn't allow the runners to move up.
Big moment for the new right-hander in this ball game as he now faces the leadoff hitter in Elijah Ramos, who has reached base safely his last 2 plate appearances up for the Stompers. First time up, though, he grounded out to short and then had a base hit in the 3rd and walked in the 5th. Eventually came around to score off a wild pitch from Pajunas. 1-0 is fisted up and out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike to the Cal State Fullerton infielder. It says on Elijah Ramos's player page that his favorite musical artists are Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh, that's controversial now. I wonder when he made that.
That's just not possible now. As this one softly hit into right center, Dowd will get called off by Witten, and tagging from 3rd is A.J. Carter. Here's the throw. It gets cut off from Comerford over there at first base, and there's the 5th run for the Stompers this evening, a sacrifice fly from Elijah Ramos to bring home A.J. Carter.
That Drake and Kendrick Lamar mashup, you could say, makes me think of the kid that was in the stadium here a few weeks ago who had, it was a Padres jersey and a Dodgers hat. Like, you can't be both.
No.
I have to say I am fans of both. Musically, I don't care much about the beef other than the fact that they're releasing a ton of music, which I love. Because they're both really good at what they do.
I saw a post out there on the internet. It's like, this beef is crazy. Drake is rapping better and Kendrick is releasing music.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Kendrick supposedly said that he was going to drop an album after all was said and done. Still waiting, but one can hope.
Stay tuned. Kyler Zukowski, who is 0 for 1 on the day with 2 walks. He came around to score on both of them. Takes a look at the wrinkler inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The right fielder from Creighton, who was 1 for 3 last night, a walk and a strikeout.
Very close pitch. Good take there by Zukowski.
Fastball in there for a strike. 1-2 now to the right fielder from Madison, Wisconsin. And Evangelista 1 pitch away from getting out of this situation. Takes a look at second, now comes home. Evangelista with the breaking ball in there for strike 3. There's the second K of Evangelista's appearance. They strain a runner at second base, but they do tack on 1 from a sacrifice fly by Elijah Ramos. It's now 5-1 Sonoma, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. 5-1 ball game, and the bottom half of the sixth inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. That's Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. Brendan Comerford is first pitch swinging, and he pops this one up into shallow right field. Ramos has got it and camps underneath it for the first out of the inning. And a new pitcher in Raul Valdiva, the right-handed pitcher from Menlo College, the Oaks, making his appearance for the for the Sonoma Stompers this evening.
You were going to say Menlo Park Legends.
I was.
Another CCL team.
Rival.
Slipping in there.
Well, Menlo Park Legends currently sitting at second place in the CCL North, behind the SLO Blues, who are in first with their 5-2 conference record. The Sonoma Stompers down there in fifth as they fight their way through the standings at 4-5 in CCL play. As it's Cooper Witten, who has 2 walks this evening. He swings and hits a towering pop-up in shallow left field. Calling everyone off is Hawley, and he will squeeze it for the second out of the inning. 2 quick outs here for Raul Valdiva in his first inning of relief for the Stompers.
There's something that's going on with the approach or the swings for the Blues. 4 of the last 5 batters haven't hit the ball out of the infield, and they've all been pop-ups, which to me means that they're just dropping that back shoulder and hitting it straight up in the air. The only person who had a good swing was Borba, who killed a ball to left center field and was caught near the warning track, but the other 4 batters just hitting it right up in the air.
And you can't help but think that's kind of what the vibe was in batting practice today. Everyone who was right-handed was just trying to lift it and hit it off the wall or hit it into the school buses out over the fencing in left field. And that's translating here now. I always hated listening to those coaches hearing the back shoulder drop. Be like, shut up, coach. Let me just hit some bombs in BP. Feel good about myself. But here I am now saying the same exact thing as the 1-1 skips outside to Owen Estabrook, who struck out swinging and walked today.
It's interesting that that's the approach at Sinsheimer. The ball just does not fly here at all. If I were a hitter, I'd want to hit something on a line, find a gap, get on base. You're not going to slug a lot here unless it's doubles and triples.
2-1 down the middle for strike 2 to Estabrook. And that seems to be how the hitters have been seeing it so far this season. I think after this road trip in Sonoma and out there in Compton, they're playing at smaller fields, and it's more likely to hit a ball out there as that fastball barely misses downstairs. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Estabrook.
Yeah, definitely smaller fields. We've only seen 1 home run, and that was a moonshot by Giovanni Blanchette. But outside of that, nobody has been able to get it over the wall. We barely see any in batting practice, where they're getting a lot more swings and better contact.
Payoff pitch is taken down the middle for strike 3. Owen Estabrook goes down swinging on the first strikeout from Raul Valdiva in his first inning of relief. The Blues go 1-2-3 once again as we head to the top of the 7th. 5-1 Stompers. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. final third of this ball game, and it's a 5-1 lead for the Sonoma Stompers in Game 4 of a 4-game series. The last time these two teams will face each other in this season. And the Blues looking to sweep Sonoma, but they got some work cut out for them as they trail by 4 runs, and Jace Evangelista heads back out there for his second inning of work. Last time he was up, he allowed a run to come in on a sacrifice fly from Elijah Ramos to add another run to this lead for the Sonoma Stompers.
Elijah Ramos has had a good game for the Stompers. A base hit that was hit very well. A walk, a stolen base, a run, and a sac fly now.
And a 2-0 count here to Jack Scarry, leading things off as he ducks out of the way of the breaking ball. Well, 3 balls and no strikes now to the left fielder from Creighton, who is 1 for 2 on the day, a hit by pitch, a single, and a strikeout swinging.
It's been the biggest issues for Blues pitchers all day. They're just falling behind in counts. 7 walks and a hit by pitch.
Fastball taken in there for strike 1.
Actually, 2 hit by pitches. They just can't find the strike zone, which is causing them to fall behind in counts, making it tough for them to be competitive.
3-1 fastball. How is that not called a strike? Missing inside to Jack Scarry, and he's awarded first base on the leadoff walk.
Trackman has that as a strike, so you are right. But, I mean, maybe the home plate umpire seeing what we're seeing from up here, that all pitchers tonight for the Blues have had a tough time finding the strike zone, and it's shrinking a little bit. You're not going to get any favors when you can't throw strikes.
Game slowly coming to a close, and the Sonoma Stompers maintaining their lead over the Blues, not getting the calls that they were once getting, as Jack Scarry now leads off at first base. Decently sized lead over there at first as the first pitch to Tyler Hawley is taken downstairs. Hawley is 0 for 1 on the day, a walk, a sacrifice fly, and a double play in the 3rd inning. Here's here a 1 ball, no strikes to Evangelista, and a huge swing and miss on the fastball on the outer black. 1 ball and 1 strike to Hawley. Hawley, one of the 3 Cal State Fullerton Titans in the lineup this evening. Graduate from Bonita High School. As the runner takes off for second base, real nice jump from Scarry. The throw down is not in time. So a stolen bag for Jack Scarry. That's the second for him this evening.
Medham was just standing behind the bag, which is not where you want to be at all. You want to be in front of that bag and be able to range to your left or right and then slap a tag on.
So now a runner on second base with a 5-1 lead for the Sonoma Stompers. It's Tyler Hawley down 1-2 in the count to Evangelista as this one's fisted into right field. Coming in on it is Witten. No tag over there at second base from Scarry. And there's the first out of the inning. A soft fly ball to Cooper Witten in right field.
Good job to get soft contact. What I really want to see from Evangelista in this at-bat against Giovanetti, maybe 2 of the longest last names in the ballpark, is a first pitch strike. He has struggled to get any first pitch strikes and didn't get ahead in the count there to Hawley, didn't get ahead to Scarry. I'd like to see him get ahead early in this at-bat.
History being made tonight as this is the first battle this season between a pitcher and a hitter where their last names equate to 9 syllables. As that off-speed's taken in there for strike 1 to Joe Vanetti. What do you think, Giacomini?
I know, mine's bad, but I have an easy first name. 4 letters for the first name, so altogether it's not that bad. But when you have Benedito Giovanetti, I mean, it takes me a whole 10 seconds to read out his name.
Meanwhile, my whole name is your first name. 0-1, softly hit on the left side. Constantine's got it on an easy hop. Throw over to first. Plenty of time to retire Joe Vanetti for the second out of the inning.
See what happens when you get ahead in the count? You get a soft ground ball. You get out of a at-bat in just 2 pitches. Now you gave up the leadoff walk, but you have 2 outs, but that runner's still on base. Well, good job from Evangelista.
Very soft, and honestly, you could convince me that Joe Vanetti broke his bat right there. It sounded way off the end, almost capped it over to shortstop at Constantine. Now there's 2 gone here with a runner on second base and Jack Scarry. It's Rudy Gonzalez who's searching for his first hit of the day, and it's not going to come from that huge swing and miss for strike 1.
I see Joe Vanetti over there in the dugout kind of looking at his bat, deciding whether or not it's broken. Probably won't go up there with it if he bats again.
Yeah, if you have to double guess if it's broken, you just probably shouldn't use it.
Yeah, just put it in the firewood pile.
Yep. That second pitch is taken downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Rudy Gonzalez, who walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and flew out to center today. Now works with a runner on second base and a 4-run lead for his Stompers. 1-1. He rolls out of the way of that one. 2 balls and 1 strike now from Evangelista. Stepping into the box now with the high water pants and the old school stirrups. The bright orange cleats is Rudy Gonzalez. 2-1 hit on the left side. Hard hop for Borba, but he catches it. Throw over to first in time to retire Rudy Gonzalez and end the inning. The Sonoma Stompers strand a runner on second base. It's still a 5-1 game in favor of Sonoma. We head into the bottom of the 7th inning. Time to stretch. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the 7th here on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. The Blues trail the Sonoma Stompers in Game 4 of a 4-game set. 5-1 here at Sinsheimer Stadium. 8-9-1 due up for San Luis Obispo. Leading things off, it's Jared Medham searching for his first base knock of a Blue this season. In this game, he reached on a walk back in the 2nd inning, was eventually caught stumbling into second base, and then grounded out to third in the 4th. And now here he is for the 3rd time today. And he takes a look at ball 1 from Raul Valdiva, who heads out there for a 2nd inning of work. This one's fisted right over to Abel at shortstop. Very easy play for the first out of the inning.
Now 10 consecutive Blues batters recording outs. Need to get something going here in a hurry. You're still in slam range, but would like to get it piece by piece and not all at once if possible.
Bats have gone dormant now as Gavin Constantine steps up, and he's first pitch swinging on a grounder over to third base. Hawley takes his time collecting it. There's a throw over in time to retire Constantine for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, he lost it a little bit on the ground ball, but able to pick it up and make a strong throw to get the speedy Constantine.
Blues making easy work for this Sonoma Stompers pitching as there's already 2 gone. And now we'll flip it over to the top to the leadoff man in Braden Dowd, making his debut after a stellar first season with the Trojans last year at USC. Tonight, though, he has a strikeout swinging a fielder's choice to end the second inning and a fly out to left field. Here he is now for the 4th time this evening as he takes a look at ball 1. And Dowd, I mentioned earlier, one of the more anticipated guys for the Blues as he made 40 starts this past season for the Trojans and had 47 hits, 26 RBIs in that time. Off speed, missing upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. And I think another exciting statistic for Dowd, too, is that he's not a guy that strikes out a whole lot as well. Just 22 Ks and his 21 walks in those 145 at-bats.
Good swing there. Just a little underneath it, but hit it right back to the screen, which means that he has Valdivia timed up.
Working on it out there in the on-deck circle. You can't just take that time off there. That's also some valuable game reps, getting ready for the guy you're about to face as he was taken all the way on that off-speed. 2 balls and 2 strikes now from Raul Valdivia in his second inning of work. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Soft liner to short and a grounder to third. 2-2. Missing upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Braden Dowd.
Good take. Bradley Navarro on deck, who hit the ball hard in the first inning, would like to get on and maybe start a little 2-out rally like we saw on Sunday in Sonoma.
Here's the payoff pitch with 2 gone. Coming from the windup is Valdivia, and missing outside for ball 4 is Braden Dowd. Here's Dowd's first time as a Blue, reaching base safely, and it comes from a walk here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing by 4 to the Sonoma Stompers.
And Dowd is a steal threat over there at first. Down 4 runs. You might not do it, but I know the philosophy with Dean Traynor is you always have the green light. We're not going to give you the sign to do it, but if you feel like it's there and you got a good opportunity, go for it.
And that's got to be a refreshing feeling for the guys down there on the field when you get a manager with the experience and the age of Dean Traynor. Has taken off for second is Braden Dowd. Real nice speed getting over there for his first stolen base of the season. You typically think a quote-unquote old-timer wouldn't really have the green light on the base paths like that, so it's nice for the Blues to be able to have that freedom as Braden Dowd flew into second base with that stolen bag. So now a runner in scoring position for Brad Navarro, who is 1 for 3 on the day, 5 for 16 entering this contest, as this fastball gets away from Gonzalez. Easily rolling into third base is Braden Dowd, and the throw back to third is in time! Braden Dowd gets caught sleeping as he was floating towards the bag back at third, and the catcher Gonzalez roped it over to Hawley. Hawley got the tag down to get Dowd for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Blues still trails 6-1 after Braden Dowd gets picked off at third base. It's 6-1 heading into the top of the 8th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top of the 8th here at Sinsheimer. Sonoma Stompers still lead the San Luis Obispo Blues 5-1 after Braden Dowd was picked off at third base after a pass ball, and that ended the inning. So now we're top of the 8th here, and it's 7-8-9 for Jace Evangelista, who heads back out there for his 3rd inning of work. And we're reminding you again here that it is luau night here at Sinsheimer, even though it is now below 60 degrees here at the ballpark. Fans starting to bust out the puffer jackets, but Ryan and I are still very much in spirit here. I mean, just take a look at the get-up we got going on. I have the straw hat. We both have the lays. This is my boring Hawaiian shirt that I was talking about. There's no buttons or anything on it. It's just kind of a simple palm design. But I don't know. I feel like I'm rocking the cap right here. There's some more straw ones downstairs, but this is from my own collection. Just one of the many theme nights that we have here at Sinsheimer. As AJ Carter pops that one up and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. I don't know, Ryan. I'm talking about my hat. I'm talking about my shirt. But I think there's something that the folks at home would like to see. You just got to see. You know, some guys just want it more.
Look at the skirt.
Ryan Giacomini
I'm killing it.
Is just a man of the people, and he showed up to the park today with this beautiful green grass skirt.
Yeah. Went over to Party City earlier today. They hooked me up. Little skirt. And I've been rocking it all game.
What was the look on the cashier's face?
Well, it was kind of funny because I actually went as rung up on strikes as AJ Carter. I actually went to Best Buy before to pick something up, and I had it in my hand still, and it was this huge, like, 25-foot cable. And so I had a 25-foot cable and this pink skirt in my hand at the same time. Might be, like, the 2 most polar opposite things ever.
I'm sure people in the parking lot are going, what is this guy's plan today? What could possibly be going on?
I'm going to charge my phone while in a skirt, I guess.
It's that first pitch missing downstairs to Trent Abel for his 4th time today. He doubled last time he was up. Thought I had a chance of getting out. He was left at second base as this one's towering in the infield. Entire right side converging on it, but Medham's got it. He calls everyone off and squeezes it for the 2nd out of the inning.
Good job to get soft contact there from Evelyn Gista. We've seen that a lot in his outing when he gets ahead in the count.
So now 2 gone here for Caden Dosa, the 9-hole hitter for the Sonoma Stompers. And he steps up now for the 4th time today. A grounder to 3rd, pop out to 1st, and a comebacker over to the pitcher, and Evangelista makes the easy flip over to Comerford for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Sonoma Stompers go 1-2-3 as we head into the bottom of the 8th. 5-1 Sonoma Stompers. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in for the Sonoma Stompers. It's a right-hander in Patrick Atkinson, a future teammate of Braden Mondu at the University of Hawaii Hilo. Mondu, of course, committing to Hawaii Hilo and the Vulcans just a few days ago, announced on social media he's no longer in the transfer portal, and he will be paired up with Atkinson down there in Hawaii, who was 22 to 23 academic All-Pac West team back there in Hilo. And he comes into this game after having a 10-8 ERA last season with the Vulcans and 1 2/3 innings pitched. And he's up to face Brad Navarro, who was left stranded in the batter's box after Braden Dowd was thrown out, caught sleeping at third base in the 7th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brad Navarro for the 4th time up today. He's 1 for 3, and he holds up his check swing, taking the off-speed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Navarro. Bradley from Huntington Beach, now a resident of Ann Arbor, Michigan, for the Michigan Wolverines. He swings and flares this one up and out of play over the merchandise tent. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Navarro.
Got to get something going now. Blues down 4 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Heart of the order, you'd like to see Navarro get on, then Max Lane, then Borba, and keep the line going.
Yeah, and these are all guys that have some serious power that we saw in batting practice and beyond in their college seasons. And you'd like to give them an opportunity to do some damage here, trailing by 4 runs, as the Blues are running out of time here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-2 missing outside, and there's a leadoff walk to Brad Navarro to begin things in the 8th.
Beautiful at bat by Navarro to just get on base, knowing that he can't single-handedly tie this ball game up, move that line along, and make it so it becomes more manageable for Max Lane.
So yeah, now it's Max Lane here, who's 0 for 3 on the day, a strikeout swinging, grounder to short, and a pop out to the pitcher in Phelan. And he now digs in here with a runner on first base, and the fastball that clips the outside corner for strike 1. 0-1 to Max Lane, the left fielder from Harvard, and also a native of Newport Beach, California, just like Brad Navarro. 0-1 skips in the dirt. Good scoop from Gonzalez. Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Taking his time getting back to the rubber is Atkinson as he faces the Harvard Crimson, who had 25 hits last season and his 93 at-bats drove in 17 runs. Throw to first, not in time to get Brad Navarro. One ball and 1 strike to Max Lane, who entered this contest 3 of 12 with a double, a triple, and 2 runs batted in. And the slider misses downstairs and smothered by Gonzalez. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Lane. Bit of some competition and batting practice today, trying to hit some home runs in the final few rounds of BP. And Max Lane got awfully close many times, just wall banging it to wrap things up here in the pregame.
Well, I think actually, so it was Cooper Witten that was cranking baseballs. He hit 1 out.
Yep.
And then started talking a little bit. And then I think it was Max Lane who went up there, hit 1 to silence him.
Yep.
And then Cooper Witten in the next round hit another one.
The one that I caught, it was one of the final swings that he took, and I think Max Lane thought he got all of it, and he walked off of it, swaggy, swaying his shoulders, and he thought it went out. He turns to me and goes, "Did it go out?" I'm like, "No, it did not." So now, after taking a strike there, they'll fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Max Lane. From the stretch, off his hands, right at home plate, foul ball. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Nate, I think after this at-bat, we might have to do our new tradition of moon percentage. Yes.
Stay tuned, guys. No one out here, and a 3-2 count to Max Lane. Blues trail by 5 runs to the Sonoma Stompers in Game 4 of a 4-game series. This one swung on and chopped right behind home plate. Do it again, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Lane doing a good job fighting and staying in this at bat. Need to just keep producing base runners, and then eventually you'll score runs. That's how baseball works. Once the bases get filled and you keep hitting, you're going to keep scoring.
And the Blues were getting runners on earlier in this game, but in the last three, they've just been easy work for the Sonoma Stompers pitching. Three, I guess you could technically say 1, 2, 3 innings for San Luis Obispo in a row. Here's the payoff pitch. Curveball spoiled down the left field line. Staying alive here in the full count is Max Lane.
Yeah, before the Dowd walk, it was 12 straight batters who were out for the Blues, and then back-to-back walks now, one for Dowd and one for Navarro.
Outfielders getting reset after retrieving that foul ball down the left field line. And now Atkinson comes from the stretch. Slide step coming home. This one's chopped on the left side. Abel's got it. Throw over to first in time. And now over to first, not to get Max Lane. On the force out to get Brad Navarro at second base. There's now one away and a runner at first base.
Good job by Max Lane to beat that throw out. You definitely don't need a ground ball double play down 4 runs in the 8th inning.
So now it's Casey Borba who showed us what he's capable of in the 3rd inning. A rocket double that went off the wall. He was eventually picked off at third base. But as the game wanes here in the bottom of the 8th inning, the moon is waxing, Ryan. And I think now it's time that we have a guess as to what the moon percentage is tonight, something we started doing last night late in the ball game, where the moon is very visible right now as Casey Borba takes a look at ball 1 downstairs. We got the moon to our vantage point on the left. It's now perched over the Sinsheimer Stadium, and a perfect chance for Ryan and I to guess how full the moon is.
And last night it was 87%?
I believe it was, yeah. As the slider misses outside.
All right. Do you got a guess?
Let me observe this. So
He's getting a video.
I'm taking a video of this just to get just to have a record of it. I think this is way more than 87.
Yeah.
This looks like a huge jump from last night as the 2-0 misses downstairs to Casey Borba. I'm going to go out and say, man, that's really full. I'm going to say 94.
Okay, I was thinking same range as you. I'll go one lower. I'll go 93.
93 on the moon percentage for Ryan Giacomini. As walking for Casey Borba on the 4-pitch walk. And now another base runner here with 1 out. Max Lane gets pushed up to second base, and Casey Borba now at first on the 4-pitch walk.
Well, I'm glad I went one below you.
What do we got?
93.
Oh,
got it on the
man.
dot.
Can we just talk
93.
about what a huge jump that is?
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump. Is tomorrow full moon?
Do we have moonologists here? Is that a word?
No.
What? Who is a studier of the moon?
Probably the same people who just study the space, which yeah.
And those are astronomers.
Yeah.
So
probably just the same people.
We need an astronomer in the chat or something.
That's a 6% jump? Is that a big jump?
I think,
I mean,
man. I mean, like, I guess it wouldn't make sense for it to be like 88 today, right?
Yeah.
But 93.
Oh, actually, this website has it at 95.9. A different website than the one I got the
are we going to go with
from.
timeanddate.com or theweather.com?
The other one is from...
As journalism majors, we have to know these things. As Comerford sends this one into center field, can't find it is Dosa, and he finally can, as tagging up from second base and going over to third is Max Lane with ease. Now runners at the corner after Comerford towered a fly ball to center field for the second out of the inning.
Well, let me keep doing some more research. Like you mentioned, we are journalists. So the first one, the 93%, was from moongiant.com.
Ooh, that's pretty reliable.
Yeah, we have...
I mean, does it get more reliable than that?
I mean, the whole website is dedicated to the moon.
The word moon is in there.
We have calendar.com, calendar with 2 R's at the end.
Ooh.
93%.
Sketchy.
The Old Farmer's Almanac?
Oh, okay. Farmer's Almanac could be.
94.
It's living in that area.
Yeah. 94 from the 9 planets of the solar system.org.
Another good source.
That's
man.
an org, which makes
It is an org.
Yeah.
Good call.
Let's see if NASA has it.
Cooper Witten looks at the slider outside. Now 2 balls and no strikes to the UW right fielder with runners at the corners.
All right, NASA has it at 93%.
I think we just got to go with NASA,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I think NASA, I mean, whether or not they're right, it's the most reliable.
It is the most reliable, and I would guess that's what weather.com pulls from, because that's where we looked, right?
No, it's just on, it's Moon Giant is where I looked.
Oh, you looked on Moon Giant the first time. Okay.
Yeah. I think that might be where, I think I might have looked weather app last night.
I think NASA has got the most clout and the most rep, so I think we got to go there. As the 2-1 to Cooper Witten is taken outside for strike 2. Ryan's still looking here. He's now on the Apple Weather app. Oh, it's not showing up.
Yeah.
2-2 to Witten. Swung on and hit into left center field off the hands. Dosa still having problems, and Scary tried to recover, and it's going to drop for a base hit. There's an RBI single from Cooper Witten, and it comes in a very unorthodox way as both the left and center fielder lost it in the sky. That twilight evening, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming back to bite them as the Blues get their second run of the game off the bloop RBI single from Cooper Witten.
Okay. So what I was talking about earlier, you're just trying to piece together good at-bats after good at-bats, and right there it comes to fruition. As Cooper Witten gets the RBI single, you still have a runner on third with 2 outs, a chance to score even more runs.
And the bats finally wake up here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Owen Estabrook fouls this one up and out of play for strike 1. The Blues hadn't even had a base runner for the past 3 innings. They hadn't even had a hit until the 3rd. He just broke a long silent streak in this ballgame after a Cooper Witten bloop single for their 3rd knock of the day. Estabrook swings and misses and actually tips this one foul to the glove of Gonzalez for strike 2. 0-2 to the Columbia catcher. Estabrook struck out looking and struck out swinging this evening, also walked and was stranded at second base. No balls and 2 strikes to the Santa Barbara native with runners at the corners. Blues trailing now by 3 as taken off for second base is Cooper Witten. Real nice jump, and he gets in there standing. Runners at second and third now for the Blues.
Now 2 runners in scoring position, an even better opportunity for Owen Estabrook.
One and 2 now to Owen Estabrook, looking for his 5th hit of the season. Also, another RBI as he softly hits a single into center field. That's going to land for a base hit. 1 run comes in to score. Here comes the throw, and it will not be in time as the home plate umpire took a very long time to make the official diagnosis. And that's going to be a 2 RBI single for Owen Estabrook. All of a sudden, the Blues are within 1 against the Sonoma Stompers.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting from Estabrook. I think what the home plate umpire was deciphering between is that Witten was out, I think is what he was thinking in his mind. But then he called interference on the catcher for blocking the plate and allowed the run to score. Blues getting it done here in the 8th inning, down just 1 run.
And hey, I mean, you could wait all that time to get that base hit. I mean, they hadn't had one since the 3rd inning. Now back-to-back hits here. And it doesn't matter that it's coming now because now you're only trailing by 1 run. And you actually still have a whole entire inning if you can't tack on more here in the bottom of the 9th as we are in the bottom of the 8th. So now it's Jared Medham, and he swings and sends this one down the right field line, but foul and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to the St. Mary's infielder, who has been their mainstay shortstop for the past 2 seasons. He looks for his first hit in a Blues uniform after walking, getting caught stealing in the 2nd, grounding out to 3rd, and a soft liner out in the 7th. Medham with a runner on first base. Takes a look at the fastball that misses outside. Now 2 balls and 1 strike to the native of Half Moon Bay, California.
The Blues have Sammy Frederich getting warm in their bullpen. Probably see him regardless of if the Blues tie it, take the lead, or if they still trail by 1.
Here's the 2-1, taken in there for a strike to Jared Medham. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. In high school, grown up in Half Moon Bay, went to Half Moon Bay High School and hit .431 with an .847 slugging percentage. He earned PAL Ocean Division Player of the Year as he hits this one hard on the left side. Happy birthday, Holly. Throw over to second in time to get the force out. Holly just stuck out his glove at third base and was able to corral it, make the throw over to second for the 3rd out of the inning. The Blues have an answer in a huge way. 3 runs in 1 inning. It's now a 5-4 ball game. San Luis Obispo's creeping up, heading into the top of the 9th inning with Ryan Giacomini. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Jace Evangelista's day is done as Sammy Frederich comes in to relieve as the Blues trail by 1 run, and the first pitch to the first batter he sees, and Elijah Ramos won't count as the music was still playing. So now we'll hit reset here and start with the 0-0 count to the leadoff man from Cal State Fullerton, who grounded to short, had a base knock, came around to score after walking, and had a sac fly in the 6th inning. And he takes a look at strike 1 to Sammy Frederich.
Good opening outing for Evangelista, just gave up that 1 run.
Hard hit to center field. Dowd has to go back on it, and he now backpedals and gets it on the run for the first out of the inning. And that is a really difficult play to make. I don't think people realize how hard that was for Dowd to get there. When you're an outfielder and you have a ball hit directly over your head, it's difficult to pick which way you have to turn your shoulders and then your neck and your head to look at the ball. It's really, you're coached up what side you like better, or what side is just more comfortable where you can be more athletic. So I think he was ranging back, and he thought he was going to have to put his head down and get to that one, but he got knocked in the air. So he had to throw on the brakes and then slowly backpedal to get in front of that baseball. And that's what Braden Dowd there, a very athletic play out there from the USC center fielder for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, very good play, and especially in this dark sky, might be easy to lose the ball. It was right at about the level of the lights, too. A lot of different components that went into making that catch way more difficult than it seems.
So now it's the 2-hole hitter, Kyler Zukowski, who's now up 1-0 in the count after walking twice, flying out to center and striking out swinging. He taps this one on the right side to Meta, makes the throw on the run. Easy play to Comerford for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here for the new pitcher in Sammy Frederich, and now it's the 3-hole hitter in Jack Scarry, the left fielder from Creighton University.
Frederich just has to go out there and get quick outs like he is doing. You want to get those bats that are hot back up there. Blues tacked on 3 in the 8th and are going to look to either tie or win it in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, Blues offense certainly wants to build off the momentum that they created back there in the 8th inning. 3 runs that past inning after not collecting a hit since the 3rd. The bats finally came alive and brought this game within 1. As this one's fisted on the left side, Constantine's got it. The throw to first is high, but Comerford puts the tag on for the 3rd out of the inning. The Sonoma Stompers go 1-2-3 in the 9th, and now it's the Blues' last chance to come out victorious and get the sweep over the Sonoma Stompers. It's 5-4 heading into the bottom of the 9th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in for the Sonoma Stompers as the Blues look to walk this thing off, or at least tie it here in the bottom of the 9th inning. After tacking on 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th, they shut out the Stompers in the top of the 9th. They only trail by 1 here with the new pitcher in Sean Flowers, who yanks the first pitch fastball to Gavin Constantine in the dirt for ball 1.
89-mile-an-hour fastball from Sean Flowers. He threw for the Stompers last season as well, a common theme today with James, Phelan, Atkinson, and now Flowers. In 14 2/3 innings, he had a 1.84 ERA.
As the fastball misses outside there now, 2 balls and no strike to the St. Bonaventure shortstop, who struck out swinging and grounded out to 3rd today. He spent his first 2 seasons of college out there in Reno with the Wolfpack of Nevada, and then since transferred to Concordia of Irvine. There's a big swing and a miss from Constantine for strike 1. In his time at Irvine, no starts, but he appeared in 3 games with a 4.50 ERA and 2 innings pitched. Now he's here, 2-1 to Constantine, and he chases the fastball elevated at the eyes, and 2 balls and 2 strikes to Constantine. So it's Junior leading things off. Then it's Braden Dowd looking for his first hit, and then Brad Navarro in the 2-hole. 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Elevated the fastball once again, throw over to first in time to get Gavin Constantine on the drop 3rd strike, and there's the first out of the inning. And Ryan, he just went right back to the fastball at the eyes for Constantine. Clearly he couldn't resist swinging at it, so why not just go there again?
Yeah, that's his go-to pitch as well. You're going to see a lot of fastball. You'll see a little bit of the off-speed, a curveball changeup, but a lot fastball heavy, and he's going to go to the eyes with it. He likes to work tunnels is something I noticed a lot last year. So he's going to go to that fastball high. He'll drop the curveball off of it. He'll go to the changeup low and in, and then work the fastball right off where that changeup started. He's really a good pitcher. One thing he struggled with last year is walks. So it'd be interesting to see the Blues take advantage of that.
Huge swing and a miss from Braden Dowd for strike one, who is on a quest for his first Blues hit this evening. Casey Borba, one of the three guys making their Blues debut tonight. He's the only one to come up with a hit between the three of them. Dowd looking to change that here on the 0-1 as that misses way in the other batter's box. 1 ball and 1 strike to the USC center fielder.
And we know Dowd can hit. He hit .324 his freshman year at the University of Southern California. It was 47 hits that year.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Dowd, and he swings and fists this one back into the screen. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Clarkston, Michigan native.
Similar to what I saw last at bat, he's on that fastball, fouled it straight back to the screen. He was just a tad bit underneath it. But if he gets a barrel on that and straightens it out, it could go down for extra bases.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Braden Dowd, the only left-handed hitter in this lineup. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sean Flowers, and there's now 2 gone here for the switch-hitting Brad Navarro.
It's up to Navarro to keep this game alive and the opportunity to sweep the Stompers in a 4-game set alive.
Blues did some good damage into this deficit against the Sonoma Stompers. The last inning in the 8th, they tacked on 3 runs to bring it within 1. And now time is slowly of essence for the Blues as they're down to their last out and their 2-hole hitter and Brad Navarro, who checks his swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Ball 1 upstairs.
Bradley Navarro's a good guy to have up there with just 1 out left. He's been on base twice today, and we know he can hit the ball very well. Like to just get the line moving.
Has a base hit already today. Stole a bag back in the first inning. And he's here now on the 1-0 as the fastball is taken all the way outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Aside from the single, he also grounded out to third, popped out to first, and walked in the 8th inning. Heading into the game, 5 of 16, a double, a triple, 1 run batted in, and 1 stolen base. Here's the 2-0. Missing outside again is Sean Flowers. 3 straight balls to Brad Navarro, the DH for the Blues.
And I know how badly Bradley Navarro probably wants to swing this bat, but the smart approach is to take all the way, get the tying run on base and the winning run in the box.
On deck is Max Lane. As that one is taken all the way, he flips the bat into the on-deck circle. Max Lane shakes his head to lock in, and he digs in now for the 5th time today. Hitless on the night is Max Lane, the Harvard outfielder.
And Lane has struggled early in this year, 250 coming into this game and 0 for 4 like you mentioned today. But now would be the time. He is due to get a hit. He was really good this year at Harvard. Like to see that come into play right here at Shinsheimer.
Wanted to bring that 269 batting average here to the Central Coast as he looks at that fastball upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Did some damage as well with that 355 slugging.
A good approach would be to take it till he sees a strike. Navarro walked on 4 pitches, and if you can walk again, you now have the winning run on base and the tying run in scoring position.
1-0 missing way upstairs, and it gets out of the way of Gonzalez. Easily striding into second is Brad Navarro from the wild pitch that went over everyone's head at home plate.
That's big. Now, like I mentioned, you have the tying run in scoring position for a dangerous hitter.
Max Lane, a guy who's got pop, and Casey Borba, the man on deck, another guy who's got pop. You're really just running through a gauntlet of power through the middle of this Blues order with Lane, Borba, Comerford, Witten, and Estabrook.
Yeah, absolutely, and he doesn't even need to show off the power right here. All he needs is a base hit. With 2 outs, Navarro's running on contact, and not to mention he has plenty of speed to score anyways. But a base hit would get it done and tie this game up in the 9th.
Lane just wants to poke one through here for his 3rd RBI of the season. As the Blues trail by 1 here to the Sonoma Stompers in the bottom of the 9th inning. Game 4 of a 4-game set. 2-0, missing way outside. 3 balls and no strikes to Max Lane. 7 straight balls now from the new pitcher and Sean Flowers, who came in to relieve Patrick Atkinson.
I mentioned it's something he struggled with last summer for the Stompers. 7 straight balls. I'd be surprised to see Max Lane lift this bat off his shoulder.
Here's the 3-0, taking all the way, and there's ball 4. 8 straight balls from Sean Flowers, and suddenly there's some life at Sinsheimer.
And I have a crazy guess at what Casey Borba's strategy is going to be up at the plate. Take pitches.
Would be the smart thing to do here after there's been 8 straight balls from the new right-hander in Sean Flowers. Casey Borba, who walked last time he was up in the 8th inning, eventually came around to score in that 3-run rally. Other than that, he struck out swinging in the 1st, hit a double in the 3rd, and also flew out to left field in the 5th. Wants to get productive now here in the bottom of the 9th as his ball club trails by 1 to the Sonoma Stompers. Fastball taken in there for a strike.
Now Borba can be a little more aggressive. That Sean Flowers got it out over the plate. Kind of just a get-me-over fastball at 88.
Flowers comes set, takes a look at second. Now comes home from the belt. The 0-1, missing outside for ball 1. 1-1 now to the Texas Longhorn. The Santa Ana native spent his first season out there in Austin. Last year, collected 21 hits, 17 RBI in the process.
Could use an RBI right here.
Sure could. Right center gap is wide open. So is left center, frankly. 1-1 taking all the way. That's in there for strike 2.
I'm surprised Flowers goes with the off-speed pitch there after throwing just 1 strike in his last 9 pitches, or 10 pitches, I should say.
Clearly, that's what he's most confident with as he clipped the inside corner, and Casey Borba leans back with a 1-2 count, 2 gone and 2 runners on. Double take at second base. Here comes Flowers coming home. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, and that's the ball game. Screaming into the dugout is Sean Flowers as tossing his helmet over there at first base is Max Lane. The frustration ensues at Sinsheimer as the Blues aren't able to complete the sweep over the Sonoma Stompers, but they do take the series 3-4 against their CCL North foe.
Yeah, overall, not a terrible game. You were able to put together some runs in the bottom of the 9th, some decent pitching here and there, but the biggest thing that came to bite these Blues is that they had 9 runners left on base in this ball game, in a game where you only had 4 hits. You got to take advantage of the walks and the free passes that these Stompers pitchers are giving up.
Yeah, in the beginning of this game, the Blues were leaving a slew of runners on base. They left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 within the first 4 frames of this ball game, and that was really the time to get the runs on the board. They were only to squeak across 1 from a wild pitch from Brendan Comerford as he was able to get into score there. And ever since then, in the 5th inning, the 6th inning, the 7th, they all went in order in that time. They finally came back to life in the 8th. And if you're going to want to win ball games a little bit more, the Blues have not had a problem doing that this season. You're going to want to erase those down parts of the roller coaster. They do have a 5-3 conference record as they sit in the top of the CCL North as of now, waiting on the Menlo Parks results. But if you want to play some sustainable baseball, you can't fall asleep in the middle of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it hasn't been an issue for them, like you mentioned, all season. I mean, they got it done in the early innings last night against the Stompers, and even on the road in Sonoma. They had 7 in the 1st on Saturday, so they were putting those runs on early in the game. Now hoping for a Menlo Park Legends loss so that we can stay atop that CCL North still early in the conference season. But it would be awesome to make the playoffs and even host if we are the winners of the North.
And it's funny to say this because the pitching has just been so good all season, and the standards have been raised so much that when you allow 5 runs for the Blues, that is just super, that doesn't happen too often. And it's, something that's probably normal for most ball clubs, but the way that this team has been pitching, letting up 5 runs like that is something out of the ordinary. But there was a lot of new faces tonight that contributed to the blow-up runs that we saw tonight.
Yeah, Harper getting his first start of the season. We've seen him out of the bullpen a few times, but a different role being a starter, and he did a really good job only giving up the one run. But then you had Pazumas, who came in. He's still getting acclimated to the CCL, to slow, all of that stuff. And he had a kind of a rough outing, so he'll look to bounce back a little bit in his next time out. And then Evelyn Gista did a really good job as well in his 3 innings.
San Luis Obispo has an off day tomorrow, Thursday, June 20th, but then they return Friday to host the San Diego Sunrays, then the San Francisco Seagulls for 2 games on Saturday and Sunday. Some more CCL action coming at you this weekend. On Friday at 6 p.m. against the San Diego Sunrays. We celebrated a few things this evening. We celebrated seat cushion giveaway night. The first 300 fans that came to the ballpark got a Fast Feet seat cushion. We also celebrated Luau Night, a theme night where fans got $5 tickets. We also celebrated the life of Willie Mays, a baseball legend, my GOAT, and I'm sure it's your GOAT as well as a Giants fan, who recently passed away in yesterday's game. Was unable to report that because I didn't have my phone on me. And we also celebrated Juneteenth, the eradication of slavery in the United States. So a lot of festivities going on today at Sinsheimer, but unfortunately for the Blues, they were unable to celebrate a win. But we'll be right back here on the Slow Blue Streaming Network on Friday night at 6 p.m. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, you can surely tune back to us on YouTube on the Slow Blue Streaming Network. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills. Have a great night, everyone.